so far this year. And in fact, that last outing where he did give up one run that was classified as earned was kind of tainted because there was a questionable call at first base.
And Shiloh will send up this lineup against the Newton Rams. Eric Mathis will lead it off. He'll be the freshman pitcher and bats like he throws from the left-hand side. Mark Bryant at shortstop hits second. Billy Tanner at third base will hit third. Chris Laird, the catcher, bats cleanup. Brian Bissell, the left fielder, bats fifth. Scott Lloyd, the second baseman, hits sixth, followed by Matt Holloman in right, Benji Law at first, and Mark Hensel, the center fielder. Mathis looking to bunt, shortening up on the first pitch, but missing 0-1. Brent Johnson, the righty, has been the Rams' ace of sorts. The 0-1 swung on and popped up foul, third base side. Mathis in a hole 0-2.
And your Rams line up like this defensively. Lance Coffins at first, Ryan Moon at second, Ryan Allen at short, Sam Allen at third. Around the outfield, Matt Easterday in left, Luke Allen in center, Richie Cleary in right, Brian Moon catching, and Brent Johnson bringing it home.
The wind, the 0-2 on the way, a fastball up high for ball one. And one person that the Ram fans and head coach and assistant coach will be watching very closely is the second baseman, Ryan Moon, in his first varsity start. The 1-2, a curveball, well inside, a good stop from Brian Moon, the catcher. It's 2-2, so let's get this straight. 2 Allens, 2 Moons, and a Coffin in the infield.
And another Allen out in center field.
That's right, Luke Allen. Johnson takes a look at Brian Moon, has the sign, the 2-2 on the way. Popped up toward left field. Maybe trouble. If it stays fair, it will bounce foul by about 5 feet. And it stays 2-2 to Eric Mathis.
That ball kind of just slid off his bat and kept slicing foul. It was in that no-man's land area out there. Sam Allen and Ryan Allen, the third baseman and shortstop, giving chase to it. Matt Easterday playing kind of deep in left field, didn't have any kind of chance to get to it, but fortunately it landed about 3 or 4 feet foul.
Johnson with 14 strikeouts and 14 2/3 innings. The 2-2 just missing, ball 3. Some of the Ram fans wanted the call there.
Looked like a pretty good pitch. About waist high, inside corner. I guess he decided it might have been a little too high. I don't know.
Payoff pitch, bounced foul, first base side over by the Newton Ram dugout, where Derek Coggins is back, and it's good to see him back. He missed the game Monday when the Rams took on Brookwood, but he is back and in his first base coaching duties, of course, right now since the Generals are hitting. Coach Coggins helping out Joe Brasfield in the dugout. The wind by Johnson. And a 3-2 once again, missing a little low, ball 4. So just like the Newton Rams, the Shiloh Generals lead off the first inning with the leadoff man reaching base on a base on balls.
Sam Allen goes in and just a little holler to Brent, getting him to calm down a little bit. I think Sam's happy to be back there at third base where he can exhibit his leadership abilities as the senior out there. Real pepper guy. You might hear him every once in a while in the background as he shouts that chatter to the rest of the infield.
First pitch, a called strike to Mark Bryan, who thought about bunting, but decided against it, 0-1. Sam Allen definitely a screamer, and since we are in open area here on the first base bleachers, we may hear a little bit of Sam Allen on the mic tonight, picking up from out at third base. Stretch. The 0-1 pitch line. Brent Johnson makes the play. He'll throw to first, a double play. That would line right back at Brent Johnson's head. He ducked and got the glove hand up, and look what I found, a 1-3 double play. So 2 down, just like that, but that one definitely a hard-hit ball.
Real good play by Brent Johnson. He had the forethought to throw the glove up at it. Unfortunately, it landed in there. The runner breaking off of first base, Eric Mathis, was trapped about halfway, tried to stop and come back, fell down. Brent took his time, made a good throw over there, and 2 down already.
And Billy Tanner, the third baseman, stands in there, righty against righty. Lined in first pitch to Tanner, swung on and missed. Johnson started there with a curveball, much more effective than the last one he threw. It's 0-1.
That was a good breaking ball down low, actually out of the strike zone, but Billy Tanner wasn't able to lay off it.
There's a line drive toward left field. That's going to fall in front of Matt Easterday for a base hit. Easterday learning another new position this year, left field. And he has played a ton of different positions. He played a little second base against Brookwood. He's played some third, also shortstop, and some left field as well. And he's played some center.
A lot of the Rams have played many different positions, showing their versatility and abilities to play the different positions, and that can come in real handy because so many of them pitch and do different things, and they need to fill the positions that those players would play.
For example, when Luke Allen comes in to pitch, he plays shortstop a lot. There's a throw to first, and they thought they had him at first base, but Tanner is back in. But when Luke Allen comes into pitch, they have to fill that hole either in shortstop or center field, and they've been able to do that at least fairly adequately this year. The Ram defense has been a little bit shaky at times, and it's caused Coach Brassfield to make a few defensive changes as the year has gone on. There's a swing and a hard ground ball to short. Ryan Allen goes to Ryan Moon. 4-6 on the force play, and that'll do it for the Shiloh Generals. No runs, one hit in the bottom half of the first, one man left on base. And after a full inning from Parents Field, your score is 1-0. The Newton Rams on top in this 8 Quad A South battle. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430, made possible by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
If you want to save money on a great chainsaw, you want the Husqvarna 51. Because right now at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, you can pick up the powerful, reliable, and lightweight Husqvarna 51 for only $329.95. That's a savings of $70. With 3.1 cubic inches, the Husky 51 has the power to do some serious cutting. Thanks to an extra-large air intake and filter, it runs clean and cool. It weighs just over 11 pounds and features a combination choke idle for easy starting. What's more, it has one of the industry's lowest vibration ratings. It all adds up to a saw that lets you do a lot more with a lot less effort. No wonder professional loggers choose Husqvarna. So pick up your own Husqvarna, the Husky 51, and save big. It's just $329.95 at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Call them at 786-7979 for more information, or see them on the square in downtown Covington.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shiloh High School and Parents Field, where it is the Newton Rams and Shiloh Generals. We head to the second, the Rams on top 1-0, and Bill Dolan, a great 8 Quad A South battle, and so far a fairly good day for baseball.
Well, hopefully it's a bit overcast and hasn't started to cool off too much yet, like you've predicted that it normally does here. But the news is good. The Rams up 1-0, and they got through the first inning unscathed, and hopefully they can come in here and put a few more runs on the board.
And the Rams send up the 7, 8, and 9 spots in the order. Lance Coffin, Ryan Moon, and Matt Easterday. The next three due up for the Newton Rams. Coffin will be the first man up. He's a 200 hitter, no homers, 4 RBIs. Good on base average as always, right up around 400. He's walked 5 times. So far this year, he's come to the plate 21 times. Wind in the first pitch to him. He swings and fouls it back to the screen. Hit it right off the end of the bat. It's 0-1.
Lance a little upset with himself, felt like he had a pitch he could hit and just didn't quite catch up to it. He was just a little bit on top of it and fouled it back to the screen.
Shiloh Generals with a new uniform this year, a little different look for them. They have the same hat they've had in previous years. 0-1 a little bit high and outside, 1-1. Generals have black and white and gray as their colors. The S for Shiloh on their hat looks a lot like the White Sox colors and logo. The 1-1, a fastball in the dirt. Laird keeps it in front. It's 2-1. But it looks as if they were imitating the Chicago White Sox when they put together the design for the Shiloh hat.
Well, even the uniform has some semblance to it, too, I think, what some of the White Sox uniforms are saying. Of course, they use many different ones.
They most certainly do. The 2-1, swung on and missed by Coffin. Evens it up at 2-2. And Shiloh's uniforms last year looked even more like the White Sox uniforms. They had a black uniform with a white S on the right portion, the right portion of the body right around the left arm. The 2-2, a little bit low, and the count runs full, 3-2.
I've noticed Chris Laird, the catcher for Shiloh, does a real good job of keeping the ball out in front of him. None of them have gone back to the screen. They have rolled away from him considerably, but I guess if you catch here, you better be able to keep it in front of you.
The wind, the payoff pitch. Coffin swings foul, tips it. Laird holds on. That's the first strikeout for Eric Mathis, and 1 down in the second. And it will bring up Ryan Moon. This will be his first varsity at bat, and you got to know he's got a little bit of jitters right here.
Imagine there's a butterfly or two fluttering around down in the abdominal area.
He is a right-handed batter. First pitch to him, swung on and missed. He took a pretty big hack at that one. It's 0-1.
Went up there fishing a little bit. That one appeared to be just a little low in the strike zone. I guess he wanted to get that first swing out of the way. Maybe he can relax now and do what he's done so well so far this year on the JV level.
0-1 on the way. Swings and pops it up into shallow right center field. Right fielder for Shiloh, Matt Holloman, coming over. He makes the play. That's the second out of the inning. And so Ryan Moon, as they call him, Plug, makes good contact there and flies out to the right fielder. Got under it just a little too much.
But he did what most of the Rams have done a good job of doing this year, hitting the ball where it's pitched and not trying to pull it, yank, pull it. had a good pitch outside to hit, drove it pretty hard, but unfortunately got under it a little too much.
And left fielder Matt Easterday, the man up now as he takes a pitch high. Easterday moving out to left field after the problems at shortstop on Monday, had a little trouble out there, and so the Rams juggling their defense. That's why Ryan Moon is here to play second base. The 1-0 high, it's now 2-0. Ryan Allen, the normal Rams second baseman for the first half of this year, moved over to shortstop. Easterday out to left field. Sam Allen is back at third base after the one-game experiment at center. There's a swing and a high pop fly, foul territory, first base side. Second baseman comes over and back in fair territory. Scott Lloyd makes the catch. And that'll do it for the Rams. They go down 1-2-3. After an inning and a half, 1-0, the Newton Rams lead the Shiloh Generals from Parents Field at Shiloh High School. Newton Ram baseball right here on WGFS, AM 1430, made possible by those fine folks at East Metro Communications. They, of course, are Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
The people at East Metro Communications know that it's not nice to brag, but they have got to do it. They want everyone to know that they have received the AirTouch Cellular Small Market Agent of the Year Award. This means East Metro Communications outperformed 35 other AirTouch Cellular agents. Their customer service record has put them ahead of the competition. This is the 14th time East Metro has been recognized for outstanding performance. That's East Metro Communications Incorporated, 7115 Highway 278, 786-6796. And now through May 13th, new customers and some existing ones may be eligible for $100 airtime free. Call or stop by for details. That's East Metro Communications, located on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-6796. East Metro Communications is an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, the new name for Pactel.
Back to Parents Field, Shiloh High School, Newton Ram baseball. The third-ranked Rams taking on the Shiloh Generals. The news is good. They're up 1-0. And here to bring you through the bottom of the second inning, Kevin Holden.
Okay, Bill Dolan, thank you very much. Brian Bissell is the first man due up for the Shiloh Generals. He'll be followed by Scott Lloyd and Matt Holloman as Shiloh brings up spots 5, 6, and 7 in their order. First pitch in the dirt from Johnson, 1-0.
That was about a 55-foot curveball from Brent Johnson. Bounced up, struck Brian Moon in the mask, and went all the way back to the screen.
Interesting that Johnson is coming in with a lot of first-pitch curveballs and first-pitch off-speed pitches against this Shiloh team, taking a little unorthodox approach here. The 1-0 on the way, fastball, swung on and bounced foul at home plate, evens the count.
Brent's fastball appears to be really lively today. It's got a lot of good movement on it, and it appears to have good velocity on it today.
An ERA of under 0.50. Stellar for any level. The 1-1, a curveball, stayed up a little high, 2-1. Johnson also throws that cut fastball that rides in on the right-handed batters. That's been probably his most successful pitch this year. 2-1, fastball swung on, bounced on one hop. Johnson will take it on the mound and toss to first for the first out.
And once again, that just goes to show you how a pitcher can really help himself by fielding his position. Brent stays at home after pitching. He's not in an unorthodox position, able to go up and make a good play on the ball, because if that gets over his head, that's trouble heading out towards second base. Makes a good play, takes his time, the good throw over to Lance Coughlin, 1 down.
Scott Lloyd, the next man up, another righty, as the first pitch is on the way, and that one's in the dirt. 1-0. That one got by Moon and back to the screen, but no one on base, and that's the best time to have those.
And another one of those first pitch breaking balls, and that one, once again, about 58 foot that time.
He's doing it, I guess, to throw the Shiloh hitters off, and then comes back and throws strikes. There's a fastball a little high, 2-0. That had a little extra jump on it. Seemed to rise a little as it came in.
So far, the umpire hasn't been overly generous with the strike zone, too, Brent.
And the 2-0, there's a called strike at the knees, 2-1. Johnson, a record of 2-0 with a save and a complete game this year. Rams have 2 shutouts. 2-1, swung on and bounced on 2 hops. It's past Sam Allen into left field for a base hit. Easterday comes over to cut it off. Lloyd will stay put at first base. We will give him a base hit on that play.
Now batting for General. Sam was playing off the line a little bit, went over and made a dive towards the line, but was unable to come up with it. Normally this early in the game you don't hug the line because you don't want to give away base hits and get things going by giving too much of the hole. That one unfortunately did get by him down the line, but just a well-placed base hit. Good play by Matt Easterday, cutting it off and keeping him to only a single on the play.
takes a strike. Matt Holloman, the Shiloh right fielder, in an early hole 0-1. Glenn George, a former Newton County head baseball coach, down the line at third for the Generals. Third to first. Back in safely is Lloyd. Shiloh with 2 base hits so far. Nothing on the scoreboard for them. Rams, 1 run so far on 2 hits. Johnson will check the runner again and come home. There's a swing and a chopper foul, third base side. In foul territory, Allen alertly, Sam Allen that is, alertly comes in, keeps that ball from bouncing back fair. Goes to 0-2.
Good job by Sam making sure the ball stayed foul there. Because until the ball, of course, passes the base, it can deflect and go back into fair territory. So it's always the best interest to get over there quickly and keep it foul.
Moon setting up outside. Johnson delivering the 0-2, and it's popped up right behind us and foul, about 10 feet behind us. And so Holloman just barely stays alive, but that one was too much in a line drive for us to make a play on it.
Yeah, we're just a little too close to the screen here. We're going to need a pretty high pop and something like the Henry County game, and we'll be able to make the play, I think.
Maybe before the game's over. Runner going with the 0-2. It swung on and popped up right behind us. It was high enough this time, but too far back. It remains 0-2. Holloman is doing his best to try to hit us a foul ball here.
Having trouble measuring Brent Johnson's fastball when he comes in with it. As I commented before, Brent's fastball really appears lively tonight.
He will step off as Lloyd goes back to first base. Johnson paying close attention to that man down there. Lance Coffin, the Ram first baseman, holds him close, the 0-2 in the dirt. Gets away from Moon momentarily. Runner heads for second. The throw down there is past Ryan Moon, but Ryan Allen, the shortstop, a good backup, keeping that one away from going into center field. Moon had to rush the throw down there anyway, as that ball, when it bounced away from him, went a good 15 feet up the first baseline. So Lloyd is at second base.
I don't know if Brian would have had much of a chance to throw him out, even though he came up with it cleanly, but the throw was on the right field side, and Ryan Allen showing a good job of backing up on the play.
Stretch from Johnson. And is 1-2. Bounced on 2 hops to Sam Allen. He takes it and throws to first. It's over Coffin's head and down the first base line. Rounding third is Lloyd. And the ball is caught on the fence. We'll see how the umpires rule it. Lloyd has crossed home plate. There's a runner headed now for third, and he will stay put at third base. Coffin now has the ball. It was lodged in the fence down the first baseline. Coffin was motioning that he could not pull the ball out of the fence. And Glenn George is going to have a talk with the home plate umpire. Here we go again. Runner at third is Holloman. Lloyd has come across. There is a run showing on the scoreboard, but we still have had no official ruling as the first base coach for Shiloh talks with the field umpire, and Glenn George has a lengthy discussion with the home plate umpire.
Normally when a ball gets stuck in the fence like that, everybody goes back. They get the base they were going to, basically. They're going to send the one runner back to second base, it appears. Are they going to let the other run score?
It appears for right now they will, so we're tied at 1 apiece. An error on the third baseman, Sam Allen, allows Holloman to go to second and allows Lloyd to score. So we're tied at 1 apiece, and Shiloh has a man in scoring position with 1 down. And the first baseman, Benji Law, is the next hitter. We've seen a lot of big first basemen batting in the lower portions of the order the last few games. Benji Law takes one. Inside, that may have hit him. Yes, it did. Law's at first base and energetically clapping as he goes down there. Johnson's fastball tailed a little too far inside and hit Law, so another base runner here for Shiloh.
Appeared to just barely graze his uniform. I don't think it actually hit him. Kind of the shirt blousing out in front compared to Brent's cut fastball coming in on him.
So now first and second with 1 down, and the number 9 batter, Mark Hensel, the next one due up. Some unusual plays in this second inning, and we're tied at 1 apiece. Johnson will step off, and the runners will move back to first and second. Will the defense hurt the Rams again? Here's the throw over to second, close, but Holloman back.
Sam Allen came in on that chopper, made a good play on it, but then just kind of launched the throw about 3 or 4 feet over Lance Coffin's head over there at first base.
First pitch, fastball inside from Johnson to Hensel, 1-0. Rams only had 2 errors in the scorebook against Brookwood Monday, but the defense actually was quite a bit worse than the scorebook showed. There's a called strike inside corner. Johnson trying to pinpoint that fastball around the inside part against the righties. his stretch as he checks the runners and his 1-1 pitch. Popped up toward right field. In comes Cleary. Out goes Ryan Moon. It will fall in for a hit. It gets away from Cleary. As it goes toward the line, Ryan Moon will pick it up. 1 run will score. The throw in is cut off. Runners at second and third. Shiloh has the lead here, 2-1. That ball bounced right in front of Cleary, who had a little trouble judging it, then took a bad hop away from him and toward the line, and the second baseman, Ryan Moon, had to go all the way out toward the line to pick that one up.
And we're going to have to give that a double on the ball as it hit and kind of cue balled away from Richie Cleary. So a double there, and the Rams in trouble here with runners at second and third.
This could be a potential nightmare here for the Rams. They have the infield in at the corners. Stretch, first pitch to Eric Mathis, a called strike, 0-1. Mathis, the freshman, starting against the number 3 team in the state. So here's another young man who probably has a little bit of jitters right now. Glenn George, seeing that the Ram lineup, as it has been the last few years, pretty well loaded up with lefties, deciding to start the left-handed pitcher, saving Chip Bates for a later time. There's a swing and a hard ground ball, and it is fair down the first baseline. 1 run will score. Second run is in. Going into second base with the double is Mathis. And now Shiloh on leading this one 4-1 as the wheels are coming off for the Rams here in the second.
And right there, I believe Richie Cleary probably should have thrown into second base. They would have had a chance to get the runner who was going the whole way. They did not have a chance to get the runner at the plate, and what they've done is allow another runner to get down to second base in scoring position.
And now the Rams will have a conference at the mound as Joe Brassfield will come out and the infielders will talk at the mound. A reminder for you that hopefully the Rams will choose the 5th inning to come back into this game. Hopefully they'll do it a lot sooner, but if nothing else, hopefully the 5th, because that is the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning. Your chance to win 50 hot wings, I believe, from the Hard Luck Cafe.
That's right. We are up to 50, and if no one hits one today, then when we come back to you tomorrow night, it'll be up to 60.
We've had one winner so far, and this would not be a bad time in the 5th inning when that comes around to have another one.
Hopefully Brent can go ahead and settle down and get out of this inning without any further damage. 3 runs behind is not too magnificent to overcome, but the Rams just need to tighten up and play a little stronger out in the field.
Mark Bryan, the hitter, the number 2 batter, lined to the pitcher last time, takes a strike here as it goes to 0-1. Bryan lined one right back at the mound that Johnson made a good play on and tossed to first to complete a double play as he got out of a minor situation back in the first. He's in a major situation here. There's a swing and a ground ball right back to him, and Johnson may have a runner hung up at third base. Sam Allen tries to tag him, and they say that he is out. Here's a throw to second base, and safe there. So the runner out at third base, but safe at second. Eric Mathis at second base was caught halfway between second and third. Johnson's throw to Sam Allen was a little up the line. Allen came back to make the tag on Mathis. We saw a call from the field umpire that he was out. Bryan, meanwhile, was headed for second base. It appeared as if Ryan Moon had applied the tag to him there, but he was called safe at second base. Glenn George is talking with the field umpire as Mathis stays put at third base, probably under the directions of his head coach.
I believe the umpire might have called him out for running out of the baseline. It looked like he went a long ways to elude the tag of Sam Allen there. That could be the problem there. But he did call him out at third, and it looked like the throw down to second base beat that runner too, but the umpire was maybe turned out of position a little bit, trying to emphasize the call there, and didn't really get a good look at it.
As Glenn George has his words and words and words for the field umpire, Brent Johnson will take a couple of warm-up tosses. Runner at second base for the Generals, and 2 out. Mathis is out at third base and now heads back toward the dugout. One thing about this Shiloh General team, they do have a lot of team spirit. Those players are up and out of the dugout at all times, very excited about all aspects of the game. When the batter Benji Law got hit, it drew a big reaction from that Shiloh dugout, and Coach George has his players into it on every play. Johnson will check that runner at second base and come home, missing a little inside to Billy Tanner. 1-0. Tanner a single his first time. Ryan Moon cheating in towards second base, holding the runner close. That 1-0, a little bit low, ball 2.
That previous play, Brent Johnson did a good job of freezing the runner and getting him caught halfway in between, and they were able to retire him at third base.
Pitch is up high. Now Johnson behind 3-0 with the cleanup batter, Chris Laird, on deck. He's the catcher for Shiloh. 3-0 the count here to Tanner. The Generals with 3 hits so far in this inning. Rams have made an error as well. There's a called strike, 3-1. Mark Bryan, the runner out at second base with 2 down. Johnson checks him. He's to the belt. Tanner awaits the 3-1 pitch. Here it is. Low, ball 4. Looked like Johnson tried to throw something off speed and gripped it a little too long and bounced a few feet in front of Moon, who kept it out in front. It took a good hop for him, but that's a base on balls. The second for Johnson in this game, matching his season total coming in.
And Brent is struggling a little bit, and of course the error hurt quite a bit in this inning, as it's really helped to keep things going as the 9th batter of the inning comes to the plate now.
This is Chris Laird. Bounced into a force play back in the first. That ended that first inning. A couple of hard-hit balls in that inning, but nothing across for Shiloh. First pitch to Laird, inside, ball 1. In this inning, we've had a couple of hard-hit balls, but there have been some defensive miscues and other plays that have just gone against the Rams that have led to this 4-run outburst from Shiloh. The stretch, 1-0 pitch. Once again, misses inside, ball 2, and this will get Moon out to the mound to have a little talk with Brent Johnson.
Well, this is the second game we've seen the Rams play after being off last week, and both starting pitchers appeared to be not as strong as they had been in their previous outings. It looks as though maybe the week off might have hurt some of the pitchers. They're just not quite in the same groove they were in the South Metro tournament and previous games.
The 2-0 pitch. He just got a piece of it, did Chris Laird. Fouled it back. Goes to 2-1. Johnson has been pretty good throughout the year at keeping the ball over the plate, letting his defense take care of a lot. Of course, he has a pretty fair number of strikeouts as well. So far in this game, he has not struck anyone out. Wouldn't mind having one here with first and second, 2 down. The Generals have already put 4 runs across here at the bottom of inning number 2. Looking to bunt was Laird, but he couldn't catch up with it. It's 2-2. It was a high fastball, and Laird was kind of pushing it up the first baseline, but couldn't lay it down.
Kind of a strange play with 2 outs and ahead in the count 2-1. Now he puts himself in the hole and really has to try and protect the plate.
2-1 is a manager's count, but that's not often a manager's call on a 2-1 pitch. Moon gives the sign. Johnson to the belt. The 2-2 pitch popped up just over to our left. It will bounce off the concession area / press box and out of play. The count stays even, 2-2 to Chris Laird.
That one's about the right height and distance, just over a little bit too far for us.
At 5 more feet over to the right, we would have a play on that. Stretch. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and foul tipped, and it looked like that one might have gotten a piece of the home plate umpire. Still 2-2, and the ump at home plate shake that one off.
Brian Moon just not quite able to squeeze the mid on that one. It deflected off his mitt. Did appear to catch the home plate umpire right in the mask. He's knocking those cobwebs loose right now.
Bryan and Tanner take their leads from their respective bases. Second and first. There's the swing of the 3-hopper that Ryan Moon will take his throw to first in time. And Ryan Moon in his first varsity start helps to put away the Generals here in the second, but not before they put across 4 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 Newton Ram error and 2 men left on base. And after 2 innings, your score is the Shiloh Generals 4, the Newton Rams 1. We'll be back. Newton Ram Baseball, WGFS AM 1430, made possible by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
Charles Evans Nissan refuses to be undersold. We will meet or beat any advertised price on any in-stock unit. If you are tired of high pressure and the runaround, come to Charles Evans Nissan in Conyers. We put the fun back into buying a car. Charles Evans Nissan is located at 1420 Iris Drive in Conyers, 922-7600. Remember, Charles Evans Nissan, we won't be undersold. That's 922-7600. Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating at 786-4937. They'll send them packing, termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches, and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls. If you're a serious sports fan crying out for serious sports talk, then you need to tune in to WGFS AM 1430 every Saturday between Hugh Chapman and Kevin Holden, right here on WGFS AM 1430.
Field on the campus. Shiloh High School, Newton Ram baseball. And if you're a Ram fan, the Rams need a little help, and here to try and get you a few runs, Kevin Holden.
Okay, Bill, thank you. Ryan Allen, the first man due up as the Rams return to the top of the order and look to avenge some of those runs that were scored by Shiloh last half inning. And Allen takes the first pitch low from Eric Mathis, 1-0. Ryan Allen will be followed by Brian Moon and Luke Allen. Top three spots in that Newton order. Mathis, the lefty, winds. He delivers inside, ball 2. This may turn out to be a slugfest tonight. Imagine that, a long game from Shiloh High School. Not like the Rams haven't done that before. 2-0 pitch, popped up, left field side. The left fielder, Brian Bissell, having some trouble with it. Now he makes the play. He continued running the entire time the ball was in the air. It was curving toward the left field line, but Bissell finally made the play and actually went airborne to make the catch.
Kind of surrounded it finally as it had him fooled. That ball was slicing away from him. Ryan got good wood on it, but once again got it up in the air just a little too much, and the left fielder was able to make the play.
Here's Brian Moon, 0 for 1. He now has 11 hits and 32 at-bats this year. Still up over that 333 level. Grounded out to third his last time. And the first pitch to him is an off-speed a couple of feet out in front of the plate and by the catcher. Want to know, that looked like a straight change.
Appeared to mix the catcher up a little bit. He really appeared fooled on it. It kind of got through the 5-hole down there, as they say in hockey, right through the pads, and would have been a goal.
No deflection on that one. A 1-0, a called strike outside corner as Mathis comes back with the good fastball. It's 1-1. Shiloh lost to Rockdale 1-0 on Monday, playing the Rams here with the freshman left-hander and saving Chip Bates for their sub-region game Friday. There's a swing and a hard ground ball past the third baseman, Billy Tanner, and into left. And Brian Moon has his first base hit of the night, third Ram hit this evening.
Now, as far as Chip Bates, I did hear prior to the game that he has a little problem with an arm, and that's probably why he's not pitching. In fact, he may miss a couple more starts. So it's not that they're not trying to hold him out or anything, but he has suffered an injury.
It's also convenient to throw the lefty in against the Rams, who have a few more left-handed bats than a lot of other sub-region 8 Quad A South teams. I believe the Shiloh Generals play Parkview on Friday. They'll have to find somebody to throw against them if Bates is not healthy. First pitch to Luke Allen, down low, ball 1. Brian Moon at first base has 6 stolen bases and 7 attempts, and on our stat sheet, that is the team lead.
However, on that pitch coming into Luke Allen, Brian was going back to first base, so the move had him a little bewildered.
The lefty checks Moon at first and comes home, and there's a called strike to Luke Allen, 1-1. Allen a sacrifice fly for the first run of the game, his first time up. Checks his third base coach, Joe Brassfield, Jacksonville State University graduate, flashes the sign. Jacksonville State is playing at Riverside Park in about an hour and a half from now. There's a swing and a foul ball back to the screen as Allen just got a piece of it, kind of threw the bat out at the ball, 1-2.
Tried to lunge at the pitch that was probably a little bit outside, and as you said, just did get a piece of it. He's in the hole now, 1-2, so he's really going to have to protect that plate, shorten up the swing, get a little more compact, and just try to drive the ball into a hole somewhere.
The lefty Mathis against the lefty Luke Allen, the 1-2, line toward left field, and this one will fall in for a base hit, and Moon will take a turn at second and stop there as Bissell comes over and hauls it back in a hurry. Back-to-back base hits from the Newton Rams, and they have a scoring threat here in the third, and they are going to need it, down 3.
Don't need to get it all at once. Just chisel away, get a couple runs here or there. It would be a real big morale booster, I think, if the Rams could at least get a couple runs here to put them right back in the game. 3 runs looks kind of big, but if it's early in the game, the third inning, they can pound away at it and get a couple here and there, then I think they can get back in this game and go ahead and win it.
Richie Cleary is the hitter. He's 1 for 1. Good hard rip single in the first on, guess what, a fastball. The pitch that he loves to see. We'll see how Mathis handles him here. His first pitch, a little bit low and inside, 1-0.
But once again, another fastball, so evidently Shiloh doesn't have the word completely on Richie Cleary yet as he continues to see fastballs, and if he makes a mistake with one, that 340 down the line won't hold this ball.
Stretch the 1-0 pitch on the inside corner. Out of leaving it up at a ball and a strike. Cleary shaking his head. He thought that one was inside. Cleary comes in at 265. The hit in his first at-bat will up that average a little bit. Has a homer and 7 RBI this year. A monster shot at the Henry County field against Griffin in the Rams' second game of the year. Stretch the 1-1 to him. popped up towards center field. Mark Hensel comes over, and he will make the catch. That's out, too, and the runners cannot advance. That one hit well, but toward right center, and the runners staying close to their respective bases.
Now batting number 13, Sam Allen. Richie drilled it pretty well to right center, but once again, like several of the other Ram batters, the ball's just been up in the air too high. They're getting under it just a tad instead of the good line shots that they have been hitting recently.
And Sam Allen is the next man up, and the pitcher and catcher having a little talk here. Sam Allen singled his first time as well. He came into this one. 9 hits and 35 at-bats. That's a .257 average. He has left the yard one time, has 4 RBI. The Rams have 6 homers this year from 6 different people, so no one has stepped up to be the big power threat. 6 different people have spread out the Ram home runs. Stretch, the first pitch to Sam Allen, he was fishing for an off-speed pitch, a curveball, but missed 0-1.
And Sam once again fooled a little bit by that off-speed breaking ball. That's been his downfall a little bit this year, too. When he's hitting well, he's been drilling the fastball, but they have a little problem with the breaking stuff.
This one stays up high from the lefty, Eric Mathis, 1-1. Brian Moon at second, Luke Allen at first with 2 down. The Rams trail this one 4-1 from Shiloh High School on Highway 264. The 1-1 a little bit low, another off speed. It's 2-1. The official listed address, Shiloh High School, is in Lithonia, Georgia. But if you go to Lithonia, you probably won't find Shiloh. If you go to Stone Mountain, you'll be a lot closer. Runners take their leads. 2-1 on the way to Allen. He drives this one to left center. This one may be in and headed for the gap. Rounding third is Moon. He will score. Here comes rounding third Luke Allen. They're going to send him home. And he will score without a throw. It's a 2-run double from Sam Allen, who picked the perfect spot to deliver the perfect hit to the left center field gap. It's 4-3.
And is that left center field gap reminiscent of some big hits from Sam Allen last year? When he's drilling the ball into that area, and that ball was hit on a rope to left center field, all the way to the wall. Both runners able to score. Sam in, well, much to his chagrin, I'm sure, standing up down at second. He didn't get to make that head first slide and get the uniform dirty, but maybe he can score on a base hit by Middlebrooks here or something.
Middlebrooks popped out to the first baseman his first time. Big righty awaits the first pitch. It's in the dirt, and a good stop from Laird. That one was a good 3 or 4 feet in front of home plate. It's 1-0 to Middlebrooks. Before the game, Sam Allen had a chance for the first time all year to look at his statistics. Wasn't too pleased with the fact he was hitting only .257 and made the mention that he'd have to do something about that. Well, he's 2 for 2. A 1-0 pitch. Swung on it, popped up right behind us. About 15 or 20 feet behind us it lands. It's 1-1. And that one, a little close. Middlebrooks had to get the ball up just a little bit more for it to hit us here.
And Sam wasn't happy at all with his RBI total, only having 4. Well, he just had a 50% increase with that base hit.
I think he would like to add a run scored to that, too. There's a swing and a 2-hopper, and Joe Brassfield makes the clean pick at first base. Flips it back to Eric Mathis. Flawless play from the Rams' third base coach, a former college baseball player. We were talking about Jacksonville State. They will be at Riverside Park here shortly, playing a college game at Riverside Park. Going out and watch some college baseball out there at the Newton Rams home park. 1-2 pitch, line toward right field. This one could be trouble. The right fielder comes over. It bounces just foul. Not by much, maybe a foot or 2. If he'd straighten that out just a little, we may have a tie game. Instead, it's 1-2.
Chris made a good bid right down that right field line. That would have easily scored Sam Allen on the play, but it looked like it hit probably about a foot or 2 foul. The home plate umpire right down the line saw it hit, and I was hoping to see a little chalk fly, but it didn't.
So Middlebrooks will have to go back up there and look for another one to drive with a 1-2 count. Stretch the 1-2. Inside. Looks as if Mathis throws a curveball that breaks down and into the righties, because they've been bailing out of a few pitches there, some of which have looked to come close to catching that inside corner. Count is even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rams looking to add to the 2 runs they've already put across. Middlebrooks pops one up, though, on the infield. Benji Law is there, and he puts it away. And the Rams are finished here in the third, but they pick up 2 on 3 hits, leaving Sam Allen out there at second base. And after 2.5, the Rams trail the Shiloh Generals 4-3. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430, made possible by East Metro Communications, and of course you know that they are Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
Are you age 55 or older? We've reduced the cost of auto owners' homeowners insurance 20% in Georgia. Here's why. Our statistics show mature homeowners have fewer and less costly losses. So if you're 55 or older, it's only fair to charge you less for your homeowner's insurance. For mature homeowner savings, see your no-problem auto owner's insurance agent.
Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
See Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street, Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the no-problem people.
Back to Newton Ram baseball as they take on the Shiloh Generals. They made a dent into the Generals' lead, and now here to Holden, Kevin Holden.
Okay, Bill. Thank you very much, Bill Dolan. Brian Bissell, Scott Lloyd, Matt Holloman will be the next three that the Shiloh Generals will send up here in the bottom of the third. Leading by one, and Brent Johnson would like nothing more right now than to just settle down, retire 3 in a row, and put the Rams right back up there with a chance to tie this thing. He winds his first pitch to Bissell, taken a little bit high, ball one. The dimensions here at Shiloh High School, 340 to left. That's not too deep. 385 to center is a mile, and 310 to right is actually kind of shallow. But to be honest, as the 1-0 is low, ball two, from here it looks a little deeper than 310 to right field. They may have mismeasured as they were taking those measurements. There's a called strike, 2-1.
Brent Johnson throwing a few more fastballs this inning. In fact, he started off with a fastball, and he may be getting away from that curveball and go more with his number one.
And the 2-1 is popped up third base side in that immense foul territory and right in the middle of a crowd of Shiloh people. Sam Allen made a diving try for that, but just came up short as it kicked off. The count goes to 2-2, but Sam Allen will have some grass on the uniform after diving for that one, which bounced right by the on-deck circle.
He got pretty close to it. Sam had a long way to come. I mean, I've seen many major league parks that don't have anywhere near this much foul space.
Foul space is reminiscent of the major league parks in California. It seems that Oakland and places such as that have a lot of foul territory. There's a swing and just got a piece of it, did Brian Bissell. Bounced it on a hop back to the screen. Stays even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Brian Moon with a long trek back to the screen to get it, and trudges back up to the plate. That's almost like taking a hike there when you got to go all the way back to the screen here.
The only place where you have to take a breather is you're running back to the screen to retrieve a foul ball. The 2-2 just missing high. Count goes full.
Brian Moon, the catcher, tried to freeze that pitch for his pitcher, and it was a pretty good pitch right at the edge.
3-2 line hard toward left field, but Easter Day is there and he makes the play for the first out. Hit right on the nose from Brian Bissell. You could hear the ping, but Easter Day was standing right where that thing landed.
And that is a pretty deep poke to left field. When it first hit it, it gave you a little bit of a worry, but then remembering the dimensions, Matt had plenty of room to go back and looks pretty good on corralling that one. That's a tough play to make, that line drive hit right at you like that.
Rams have had a lot of outfielders just learning how to play the outfield for the first time in a while. First pitch here, bounced on 2 hops. Allen cuts across from third base, and Sam's throw to first in time. A good dig from Lance Coffin. 5-3 in your scorebook. Scott Lloyd retired for the second out. Rams making short order here so far in this third inning.
And I think a lot of it's got to do with Lance just getting in there and throwing strikes. I think he was trying to maybe be a little too cutesy the first inning or two, throwing a lot more breaking balls than we're accustomed to seeing throw. And he's just going after these hitters right now and letting his defense play behind him.
Here's Matt Holloman as he takes the first one high and tight. Ball one. Reached on a 2-base error by the third baseman for the Rams. Sam Allen came around to score on a double off the bat of Mark Hensel. That was last inning. There's a swing and a miss. Good inside fastball from Johnson as Holloman went right through it. It's 1-1. He was bailing out. Brian Moon with the sign, setting up near the outside corner. The 1-1 swung on and grounded hard up the middle. Cutting across is Ryan Allen. Gets a nice hop. His throw to first in time. 1-2-3. The Shiloh Generals are history. And the Rams will look to battle back against the Generals in the top half of the fourth. We will be back. Your score right here from Parents Field at Shiloh High School. The Generals 4, the Newton Rams 3. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430. We are brought to you in part by East Metro Communications, which just happens to be Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
Fit in some fun, slip into a grin. Show the world the mood you're in.
During the stock-up sale at Goody's Family Clothing, you get more for less. Buy one Mrs. Junior's or girl's dress at Goody's low price, get a second of equal or lesser value for 50% off. Plus, save on Junior's China tees, now 3 for $15. Today through Saturday during Goody's stock-up sale.
Goody's feels like you.
Your guide to lawn care, farming, and gardening is the Farm and Garden Depot on Emory Street in Covington. For animal health, they have vitamins, dewormers, Happy Jack and Adams flea products, rabbit cages and supplies, chicken feeders and supplies, and AG spot sprayers. Look for special coupons in this week's Covington Shopper. That's the Farm and Garden Depot, 4125 Emory Street, behind Burger King in Covington. 787-3870, 787-3870.
Field at Shiloh High School. The Newton Rams and Shiloh Generals locked in your typical 8 Quad A South battle. Oh yeah, it's a one-run game. You kind of figured that from 8 Quad A South. Something you may not have expected. Here to take your play-by-play is Bill Dolan.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. And the bottom 3 in the order for the Rams coming up to try and bring another run across the plate. Lance Coffin, Ryan Moon, and Matt Easterday. Lance Coffin was a strikeout victim his first time up to the plate, and he looks out ready for the first one. And he takes a strike call, a good fastball right on the inside corner about waist high. He didn't seem to think so as he looked back at the umpire.
Rams have had quite a few beefs with the home plate umpire on those inside strike calls this afternoon.
Here's the next one. Breaking ball just stays outside. That evens the count at 1-1.
Bill, the Rams' key here is to remember it's only the 4th inning, and they've got 4 innings with which to come back. They're only down by 1.
And another pitch that just stays a little bit high and outside. 2-1, that gives Lance the edge in the count.
Now 2-1, he can look for something to drive against the lefty.
And here's the next one to him, down in the dirt, 3-1. He gets well ahead in the count, and this is definitely what they call the hitter's count right now.
Bill, as we know, also, Coffin has a great eye at the plate. His on-base average year after year very high because he draws a lot of bases on balls.
Lance with a shot down the left field line. That may get by the left fielder into the corner, and it does. Coffin rounds first. He's digging for second. And the throw coming in, and he'll be in standing up with a leadoff double. Shakes his fist in ecstasy down there at second base.
Lance Coffin, a very emotional, fiery leader of this ball club. When he's out there, he makes it known that he is intense and ready to play this game, and he got the perfect pitch to drive on there. Turned on it, turned the hips, and drove the thing toward left field. And there is a lot of room out there in left, and by the time the left fielder Bissell came up with it, Coffin was chugging towards second, didn't even have to slide.
And it looks like we might be in for some changes, or I'm not sure if he's just out talking to his team out there. Coach Glenn George is out on the mound right now. Is this going to be one of those 15-minute episodes here?
Glenn George is famous for long talks with umpires, but not necessarily with his ball club. Have a feeling he just has instructions for his team. He's got the entire infield out there, including the catcher and pitcher. And Ryan Moon is the next man up, and he'll be followed by Easterday, and then the Rams go back to the top of the order. So they may have instructions on how to keep Lance Coffin at second base. As you know, he represents the tying run, and the Rams will do everything possible to move him over and put him across.
And Coach Joe Brasfield, as soon as Ryan Moon came towards the plate, called to him and got him his attention, and they may have a play on right here as they try to, as you say, it's very important to move that runner over to third with nobody out now. That leadoff double, a big play for the Rams.
We'll see how fundamentally skilled Ryan Moon is here, his second varsity at bat.
And here's the first pitch to him. It's down in the dirt. Once again, a good stop on the play by Chris Laird, the catcher. He has had to stop numerous pitches down in the dirt. He's done a real good job at it. Eric Mathis, the lefty, looks in, gets his sign, and brings the next one home. And there's a shot right at the third baseman. And I guess it's a double play, Kevin. I couldn't say I was screened on it. I guess it was right at the third baseman. So, unfortunately for the Rams, a double play, and that takes the sting right out of the inning.
The most perfectly hit ball on a line in the worst spot possible, right toward the third baseman on a line. Tanner made the play about 6 inches off the ground with his glove lying on the ground. And before Coffin could make it back, he flipped over there for the double play.
And Matt Easterday steps up and takes a called strike at the knees on the inside corner. just a tough break for the Rams. That ball was drilled.
That could be a very demoralizing play for you as well. Important here for Newton to keep those hopes up.
And the next pitch is low and in the dirt and all the way back to the screen. This would be a good place for Matt Easterday just to go ahead and keep the inning going with another base hit, and could really pick up the Rams if they could go ahead and get a run and tie this up after having had that bad luck right there. Easterday popped up to the second baseman his first time. He stares out, and here's the pitch. High and tight, and he's now ahead in the count 2-1. Eric Mathis on the mound for the Generals, only a freshman. Looks in and gets the sign from Chris Laird and brings the next one home. And fouled weakly back to the screen by Matt Easterday, and that evens the count at 2-2.
Bill, the sun has begun to set here at Parents Field at Shiloh High School, and the colder weather will begin to settle in. Lows expected in the 40s. In the rest of the civilized world, we don't know how cold it will be here tonight.
And Easterday up there waiting for the next one, and here it comes. And a breaking ball just a little bit low. And he laid off it, and now with the count is full, 3-2.
That's Mathis's out pitch to down an inside breaking ball, and that one just missed to Easterday.
Mathis into the wind, and here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung and drilled at the shortstop. 2 hops, he kicks it. Easterday on the fly, he beats it out, and he'll reach on the air on the shortstop.
Shortstop Mark Bryan just took his eye off the ball for just a moment and kicked away, and by the time he was able to come back with it, Easterday was safe at first, so the Rams will take that base runner any way they can get it. And with the leadoff man up, don't be surprised if something's happening with Easterday at first base, because even if he's out, Allen can lead off the next inning. He is the leadoff batter.
That's correct. Matt Easterday with pretty good speed has not attempted a stolen base yet this year, surprisingly, but I guess batting ninth, you're not going to get that many opportunities normally. And here's the first pitch to Ryan Allen. That's grounded hard to the second baseman. He boots it, picks it up and throws, and he's safe also. And the Shiloh Generals middle infield starting to fall apart a little bit as Ryan Allen hit really not a hard ground ball to the second baseman, and he booted it around, and Ryan hustling all the way beat it out.
I don't think the Shiloh infield had their Wheaties for breakfast this morning. They looked a little sluggish on the last few ground balls. To be perfectly honest, they were easy ground balls, the ground ball versions of cans of corn, so to speak, and on both of them, the infielders have just bobbled the ball, basically. No excuses on their part.
It appeared that they might have been just looking away from it a little bit, knowing that the Rams had some speedy runners up. Wouldn't this be a great opportunity for Brian Moon to unload on one here?
He is 1 for 2, and as you know, in the last game, when the Rams beat Brookwood, his home run was the difference.
Brian has a hit tonight, 1 for 2, takes the first one low in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Chris Laird once again. He's probably got about 20 saves so far today. Make a hockey goaltender look pretty good out there.
He's a little short for your typical goalie, but reminds you a lot of Spanky Lavalliere, former Pirate and White Sox catcher, but his save total is pretty high. Hasn't let too many go by so far.
And here's the 1-0 to Brian Moon, and that's also in the dirt. Another save by the catcher Laird.
I wonder how many hours he has spent out here blocking balls in the dirt to keep them from going the mile or so between home plate and the backstop.
Unless you like to do a lot of running behind home plate, I'm sure they practice that quite a bit here. Moondog ahead in the count 2-0, and here's the pitch. Swung and drilled towards left field. That ball is down and into the corner. Here comes Easterday. He'll score. Here comes Ryan Allen into third. He rounds third. He's going to try and score. Here's the play at the plate to throw. He is safe as it gets away. And here's Brian down to third. Safe at third. Rams take the lead 5-4. Tremendous hit from Brian Moon, perfectly placed down the left field line, and a couple of more misplays, bobbled balls on the part of the Shiloh Generals. Bissell had a little trouble with that ball and left. His throw in was off. The throw to home plate got away from the catcher, Chris Laird. That allowed Ryan Allen to score, and Moon alertly goes to third on the throw. When Ryan Allen went around third base, the third baseman was standing right on the bag, and they collided, and I thought that Allen would be out for that. I thought maybe we'd see an interference call where he ruled out at home plate. And here's the first pitch, bouncing low in the dirt. It gets away, but Brian Moon unable to move up. Luke Allen up at the plate. Also had a hit his last time and a sac fly his first time at bat, so he's 1 for 1 on the night. Brian Moon with a clutch hit as he drilled it, pulling the ball once again into the left field corner. And we're going to give him credit for 2 RBIs on the play since there was not an actual error on the play. And a swing and a miss by Luke Allen as he's ahead in the count now, 2-1.
The hit from Moon perfectly placed, and with 2 down in this inning, it looked as if the Rams weren't going to do much this inning, but 2 errors from Shiloh have opened the door, and the Rams take advantage.
And here's the next pitch. That's low and in the dirt. And Chris Laird with yet another save. Now the count goes to 2-1. The scoreboard was wrong before.
Notice this time, though, that Brian Moon was headed down the third baseline and made no mistake of if that ball was to get away, he was going to score. Didn't score last time because he double clutched, and by the time he was able to recover, Laird was on top of the ball.
And Mathis brings it home. Ball 3. 3-1 the count now. And Luke Allen can really look for something to hit here.
Allen's hit his last time up, evens up his average at 333, 12 for 36.
Mathis brings the next one home, and that's low in the dirt, and it gets away. But Brian Moon unable to score. And Luke Allen reaches first on the base on balls, keeps his perfect night in order.
Another slugfest from Parents Field at Shiloh High School. Rams have been involved in quite a few of these here the last several years. Glenn George is headed out to the mound, and this may be the end of the night here for the lefty Eric Mathis with big right-hander Richie Cleary up there. He has done some damage his 2 times up, a hard single and a good high pop fly in 2 trips up there, and Coach George talking it over with his defense.
And it looks like the right fielder is going to come in to pitch, so we will be making a pitching change here.
And while we do, we're also going to take this break. Newton Ram Baseball, WGFS AM 1430, made possible by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
The people at East Metro Communications know that it's not nice to brag, but they have got to do it. They want everyone to know that they have received the AirTouch Cellular Small Market Agent of the Year Award. This means East Metro Communications outperformed 35 other AirTouch Cellular agents. Their customer service record has put them ahead of the competition. This is the 14th time East Metro has been recognized for outstanding performance. That's East Metro Communications Incorporated, 7115 Highway 278, 786-6796. And now through May 13th, new customers and some existing ones may be eligible for $100 airtime free. Call or stop by for details. That's East Metro Communications, located on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-6796. East Metro Communications is an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, the new name for Pactel.
To Parents Field, Shiloh High School, Newton Ram fans can cheer because the Rams, after falling behind by 3, have retaken the lead, and the Shiloh Generals have a new pitcher. And here with the details, Bill Dolan.
Okay, Kevin Holden, and coming in to pitch from right field is Matt Holloman. He's a right-hander, appears to throw pretty hard. We don't know much more about him, and we're not quite sure who has gone out to right field, whether it was the pitcher or not. I don't recall seeing anyone come in, and we'll let you know the rest of those changes as soon as we find out. But the Rams doing a good job, just like we talked about, after getting the really tough break on the rocket shot hit by Ryan Moon, taking advantage of a couple of errors and then some clutch hits, and still with the inning going, a chance to score a few more runs and maybe break this thing open.
Remember, folks, that at one time in this inning there was 2 down and no one on base, and the number 9 hitter in the order for the Rams up there hit an easy ground ball to the shortstop. Brian booted that one. Mark Bryan did. Scott Lloyd booted the next one. Opened the door for Brian Moon's clutch double driving in 2, and the walk to Luke Allen chased Mathis and brings in Matt Holloman, righty against Richie Cleary.
I think perhaps Mathis might have gone out to left field and they made a change there. Here's the first pitch to Richie Cleary, and it's a fastball low and away. Richie's seen a lot of fastballs today, and I'm sure he'd like to get one of those inside in his wheelhouse.
340 to left field is fairly deep, but don't think that the house could hold it if Cleary got one in the wheelhouse with a fastball.
Oh, and he got one up in the wheelhouse and fouled it back to the screen. Richie talking to himself a little bit, had a pitch he knew he could hit, and that evens the count at 1-1 here in the top of the 4th inning.
So I believe what we have defensively is Eric Mathis going from pitcher to left, Brian Bissell moving to right, and Matt Holloman coming into pitch from right field.
Matt Holloman from the stretch, and Richie drives it, but foul. He turned on that fastball, that ball about 6 feet foul down the left field line as Luke Allen was off to the races with the pitch.
Bill, as you and I both know, Cleary is a definite pull hitter, no doubt about that. And in that case, pulled it just a little too much, but hit it about as hard as you could hit a pitch like that.
He really got on top of it and drilled it just much like he did his first time up where he ripped the hard single to left field. Cleary behind in the count now, 1-2. Matt Holloman facing his first batter and a real tough one to face, particularly if you throw fastballs. Comes to the belt and tries to play where you fake it to third and look over to first, and for Probably the 817th out of 819th time didn't work. Takes another look and brings the next pitch home. Richie shot down the... Saw Richie with the perfect hit-and-run single that really helped get the Rams going in an inning. And hopefully that's going to make him a better hitter, being able to go the other way with the ball. And here's the pitch. Luke Allen going. The pitch is high. Snap throw back down to third. Not in time. Stolen base, Luke Allen.
The catcher, Chris Laird, trying to catch Moon off base at third. He threw down to third after faking the throw to second base where Luke Allen had taken off. And after faking that, a snap throw to third and a good one, but Moon, with the dirty uniform, dives back in there.
And here's the next pitch, and that's low and away, and that's going to run the count full. 3-2 the count now. Richie Cleary looking for something to hit, has runners at second and third. A base hit here would bring two. And here it comes. Swinging a shot off the third baseman's glove. And Luke will stand up at third. Richie, give him a base hit on that rocket shot hit down there. I wouldn't have wanted to been standing there, Kevin.
At third baseman, Billy Tanner is going to be scarred for a few days after that. Was a rocket shot. It looked like it may have hit off his non-glove hand, his throwing hand down there. He's okay, but showing his glove to the shortstop as if to say that perhaps the ball went right through the glove. Very hard hit down toward third base. And what a pitcher does, or anybody in a clutch situation, you go back to your base confidence level. You throw what you believe in the most. Holloman believed in the fastball, but Cleary is also a terrific fastball hitter and pounced on it.
And up to the plate steps Sam Allen, 2 for 2 today with a couple of ribbies, and liking to drive in another one. And here's the first one to Sam, a breaking ball low and away, and Richie Cleary off to the races, and he's in easily. Here's the throw to the plate, Luke Allen with a steal of home. So the Rams execute the double steal to perfection. The throw went all the way down to second. Richie Cleary safe there, and the return throw nowhere near in time to catch Luke Allen.
Well, you can give Richie Cleary credit for a stolen base there, which, by the way, is his 6th in 6 tries this year. Cleary, another person who isn't known for his speed, but has been deceptive, and for that reason has the higher stolen base total. Rams pick up an extra run because of it.
And then still with a runner in scoring position, here's the pitch to Sam, and that's going to be low for ball 2. And that closes the book on the first pitcher, Eric Mathis. 7 runs charged to him. Of course, these last 4 will all be unearned. And here's the next pitch to Sam, and he pops it up. And that looks like should be an easy play for the first baseman. Sam throws his bat away in disgust, and he is retired, 3 unassisted on the play. But the Rams come up with 4 big runs on 3 hits. There were 2 errors and 1 runner left on base. So we head now to the bottom of the 4th. The Rams on top, 7-4. You're listening to Exciting Ram Baseball, brought to you by East Metro Communication, Covington's authorized agent for Air Touch Cellular.
The people at East Metro Communications know that it's not nice to brag, but they have got to do it. They want everyone to know that they have received the Air Touch Cellular Small Market Agent of the Year Award. This means East Metro Communications outperformed 35 other Air Touch Cellular agents. Their customer service record has put them ahead of the competition. This is the 14th time East Metro has been recognized for outstanding performance. That's East Metro Communications Incorporated, 7115 Highway 278, 786-6796. And now through May 13th, new customers and some existing ones may be eligible for $100 airtime free. Call or stop by for details. That's East Metro Communications, located on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-6796. East Metro Communications is an authorized agent for Air Touch Cellular, the new name for Pactel.
Veterans Field at Shiloh High School, where it's the Newton Rams and Shiloh Generals, and the Rams now on top 7-4 after picking up the big 4-run inning in the 4th inning after 2 were out. And due up here for the Shiloh Generals in the 4th inning, Benji Law, the first man up, and here to tell you the rest of the details, Bill Dolan.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. And a real inspirational inning last inning for the Rams. They were appeared to be taken out of the inning by a line drive double play. Next batter hits a routine ground ball that the shortstop plays soccer with and kicks around. And then the second baseman kicked one. Then a couple of clutch hits, and the Rams kept it going. Brent Johnson wheels and deals. Ball 1. Benji Law, the first baseman, was hit by a pitch his first time up at the plate and ended up coming around and scoring. And here's the next one. There's a called strike as Brent gets right back into the count, 1-1.
Important for Johnson to keep throwing strikes here. He spent a little extra time in the dugout But the Rams now with the advantage, and it's up to Johnson to keep that.
And here's the 1-1, and it's a called strike. Good pitch outside corner. Gets him ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's thrown a fastball and an off-speed pitch for strikes here, and so he can cross Law up with either the fastball or curve.
And here it comes, and punch him out of there. 1 down. Good pitch outside corner at the knees. Called strike 3. The Rams toss it around. Back to Brent Johnson.
You can bet that that's the one thing the Rams were looking for, the good strikeout, called strike 3. After picking up the big inning, they want to keep the advantage. Big Mo, as they call him, in their corner.
And here's the first pitch, and another attempt at a bunt, and it's fouled back to the screen. Mark Hensel still playing center field, attempting to bunt, and so far, once again, the Shiloh Generals showing a rather ineptitude at the bunt attempts, not having gotten any down on any of their tries. Here's a pitch hit up the middle. Ryan Allen charges, and he's unable to come up with it as it took a hop, went over his glove up the middle. Tough hop there. I think we got to call that one a base hit on the play.
We'll do it. It was a tough hop. Allen was charging hard and toward the first base side, out in front of the second base bag, and at the last moment, it took a hop up over his glove. He tried to bring the glove up a good 2 or 3 feet to stop the ball as it took the big hop, but still got by him.
That was the only chance he had to make the play, was to come in hard on it like he did, and he just got a really horrendous hop and was unable to come up with it. And that brings Eric Mathis to the plate, now playing left field. And here's the first pitch from Brent Johnson. That ball's hit foul down the first baseline, and the first base coach knocks it down, picks it up, and throws it back.
Mathis, for a freshman, has been mighty impressive. Leadoff batter in this one, and he's been perfect, 1 for 1 with the base on balls as well. So the freshman has found a home in the Shiloh order, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot from this young man.
Johnson peers in and gets his sign, checks the runner from the belt, and here's the pitch. A little bit low and outside, 1-1 the count now.
And Johnson has been around the plate even when he's missing. When the pitches are not called strikes, they're right around home plate. So for Johnson, that's a good sign.
And here's the 1-1. A little bit high. Ryan Moon fakes the throw back down and has the runner, Mark Hensel, diving back into first base.
Now you're at 2-1, and if you're Glenn George with 1 out and down 3, you may have something going here.
Brent checking the mound, the ground out in front where his lead foot hits. Snap throw to first. Oh! And he is out on the perfect pickoff toss and tag by Lance Coffin.
Brent Johnson with a good move to first base. The way he did it, the runner at first had been timing his jump by coming up with the glove. Then when Johnson was coming set, he was coming set for a long time. Well, this time he raised the arms, and just as he hit shoulder level with both arms, turned it, flipped to first. A terrific move and very quick.
And he did it right. He stepped off the mound first, so there was no problem with the balk. Made the snap throw and a good tag by Lance Coffin. So mark that in your book, out stealing 1-3. And here's the next pitch, grounded to Lance. He comes up with a clean, races to the bag, and that's going to do it for the Generals in the bottom of the 4th. So, no runs on no hits. We had, make that 1 hit. There was no errors by the Rams, and nobody left on base with the caught stealing. We head now to the top of the 5th inning and the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning. You're listening to exciting Newton Rams baseball on WGFS AM 1430, brought to you by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for Air Touch Cellular.
It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza. Ace white leather palm gloves made of durable white cotton canvas available in small or large, $197 a pair. An 18-inch garage sweep from the National Brush Company, $588. Ace 5-star flat latex wall paint, $7.97 a gallon. And an Ace 8.5-inch clamp lamp, just $333. It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Hey, Carl the Greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know, that's that little red building down by Nationwise. After a hard day hunting varmints on the golf course, I love to stop by and get some hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. They've got them all the way from that extra mile up to my favorite, TNT. It's a real Cinderella story how Randy has become king of the wings. So stop by and see Randy or call him at 787-0421. When you do, tell him Carl sent you and maybe he'll give me a free wing or something. Remember, that's 787-0421.
At Shiloh High School decided the 8-1A South going on between the Newton Rams and Shiloh Generals. The Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning as the Rams lead at 7-4 in the fifth. Bill Dolan.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. Chris Middlebrook steps to the plate and bats for Mark Birch of Conyers. Here's the first one, swing and a miss at a breaking ball.
Middlebrooks has taken one deep this year, so Mark Birch can take some hope. Middlebrooks did that in the semifinals of the South Metro against McIntosh High School.
And produced the only winner of the Hard Luck wing-ding inning.
50 hot wings on the line here.
Here's the second pitch, another breaking ball. This one stays high and a little bit inside from Matt Holloman, evening the count at 1-1. Holloman pitching from the stretch, brings the next one home, and that's in the dirt, and another save by the catcher, Chris Laird.
22 saves now for the catcher/goalie of the Shiloh Generals. Done a tremendous job back there, actually.
I think he only got beat on one that went through the 5-hole when he was fooled. And here's the next pitch, and another breaking ball, and that one up high and tight. That time he went to the full windup, so Matt Holloman not sure which way he wants to go. Looks like he's going to go to the windup here with the 3-1 count, and Chris Middlebrooks digging in, looking for one to drive. And here's the 3-1. Shot up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Chris Middlebrooks. And sorry, Mark Birch, you don't win the hot wings, but the Rams have something going again.
Well, the Rams will take the base runner no matter what, and Middlebrooks drove one right back up the middle. Holloman's follow-through was a little toward first base, which means he had trouble with that. If he had been straight out in front, he might have had a chance to catch that, and we're going to have a pinch runner for Middlebrooks, who's had some hamstring problems.
And it looks like it... Who was that going to be, Kevin? I couldn't...
That's Britt Mask at first base.
Okay, Britt Mask coming in to run for Chris Middlebrooks. And that's going to bring Lance Cawthon to the plate, and he'll be batting for Wendell Wagstaff of Covington, Georgia. And Coach Brassfield has announced his changes to the umpire. He's out there doing a little bit of housekeeping duties now, brushing off home plate. And when he gets all through with that, Lance Cawthon will step to the plate. Lance had a solid double his last time to the plate and struck out his first time, so he's 1 for 2. And there's a snap throw over to first base. Gets away into the right field corner. Mask on his horse down to second. And the ball appeared to get away, but I think they have come up with it down there. We kind of lose sight of it just past the dugout down there, Kev.
We're down the first baseline here on the bleachers, so anything that's deep down the right field line goes out of our field of vision. But yes, they have the ball back, and Mask will be at second base, charge an error to the pitcher on the errant pickoff throw to first.
And that puts a duck on the pond for Lance Cawthon, who would like nothing more than to get a base hit and drive it home. And Wendell Wagstaff would probably like to see him take it deep. And here's the pitch, a breaking ball that just doesn't quite come in, as he appears to be having problems with his curveball. It's just not quite turning and kind of hanging there, actually. He's going to get hurt by one of those if it gets a little more over the plate. On the stretch, and here's the pitch. Shot up the middle. That's a base hit for Lance Cawthon. He's really drilling the ball well. And here's the throw coming all the way into the plate, and blocked by the catcher, Chris Laird, again.
Meanwhile, Cawthon will be at second base. He trots into second without even so much as a throw. A good, strong hit to center field. And, Bill, when your curveball isn't going over the plate and you're facing disciplined hitters, two bad things happen. One, the hitters can sit on the fastball. Two, if you hang a breaking ball, look out.
And on that one, I think we're going to have to charge an error to the center fielder on the throw, because Lance Cawthon would not have moved up, but it was a bad throw and got away. And now the infield all the way in for Ryan Moon. And our next player in the wing-ding inning is Sheldon Anderson. Sheldon Anderson, Ryan Moon, the freshman, batting for you. And it's a called strike on the play. 0-1 the count. Matt Holloman looks in and gets his sign. Ram runners lead away. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. And he goes out and dribbles it towards the second baseman. There's going to be a play at the plate, and he is out. Good play by the second baseman as he was playing in, came up, made the throw home, and Britt Mask was out from me to you, Kevin.
Britt Mask had nothing to do, basically, but to try to hurdle the catcher, Chris Laird, who is kind of a short guy, but Laird went up with him and made the tag. Reaching on the fielder's choice is Moon. Now first and third and one out, and the Rams still with a good scoring shot with Easterday, who'll be batting in the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning for
Tim Bruce of Covington, Georgia. And here's the first pitch, and it's high and tight for a ball.
Once again, if you're Easterday or any of the Ram hitters, you've got to notice that Holloman has having a lot of trouble getting that curveball down. For that reason, Easterday can get ahead in the count and then wait on the fastball.
Snap throw over to third, and there goes Ryan Moon down to second base on the pickoff attempt over to third base. And Kevin, how's we going to score that one?
Basically, you just take second on the throw to third. I don't think an error is charged at all. If you charge anything, you charge something positive to the base runner, Ryan Moon, because he had heads-up base running there and took second on the play. So the young Rams second baseman proving his worth here as he goes into scoring position, eliminates the double play, and puts another person in scoring position.
Good heads-up play as the Rams continue to run. Make you throw them out. Easterday with a chance to drive home, too. Takes the next one and drives it towards right center field. On the run, and a great catch by the center fielder. He fires it back in. Both runners tag up, and the Rams with another run on the sac fly. Lance Coffin scores, and Ryan Moon down to third base.
Mark Hensel in center field had to leap and reach behind his head to make the catch. A terrific catch from the Shiloh center fielder, but of course as his body was twisted and so far away, both runners were able to move up. And now with two down, Ryan Allen can add to his total of RBIs and base hits. And he has not had a base hit so far this game, but if he does, Rams could put another one across.
And Ryan is batting for Paul G. Daly Jr. of Covington, Georgia. And here's the first pitch to Ryan, and he takes the ball a little bit outside. Matt Holden has not appeared to have the best control in the world, having trouble with the breaking ball. The Rams have hit him hard when he's gotten it over the plate. Want to know the count? And here's the next one. Down shot, ripped up the middle, another base hit, and another run scores for the Rams. Ryan Allen with a clean single right up the middle.
It's obvious right now, Bill, that Matt Holloman is fooling none of the Ram hitters. They're on top of it. They've hit some line shots right up the middle, which means you're right on top of the ball because that's where you're aiming to drive the ball to begin with, which means the pitcher's doing nothing to distract you from hitting the ball right up the middle. And so Brian Moon will be the next man up, but still we've seen nothing from Glenn George out of the Shiloh dugout.
And now Brian Moon steps to the plate, and he'll be batting for Joe Powell of Social Circle, Georgia. Brian, as we know, hit one deep the last game, and that turned out to be the difference in the game. And a pitch out, and he gets away as the runner was going, and credit Ryan Allen with a stolen base on a pitch out. The catcher, Chris Laird, tried to hurry so much that the ball popped out of his glove, and Ryan in easily with the stolen base.
And just as things were falling apart for the Rams in the second, so they also for the Shiloh Generals are falling apart here in the fifth. The Rams now up 9-4, and not even a pitch out executed right in this inning.
Here's the next one to Brian Moon, and he drills it foul down the left field line and out of play over near the Ram bus.
That's part down the left field line, and they were able to bring it down a few years ago. They couldn't bring it down, and the Rams have a big, long trek up the hill to the top of this hill, which is the entrance to this field when the team bus was up there.
1-1 the count to Brian Moon, and here's the next one. A little bit low for a ball, 2-1. Ryan Allen dancing around down there at second base, breaking away. Rams would like nothing more than to put another run or two on the board here and put this one away. Holloman to the stretch and brings it. Called strike on kind of an off-speed pitch that not quite sure where it was. Looked a little inside and low, but that's going to even the count 2-2 as the board reads. Deuces wild, only one on, but 2-2 the count with 2 out. And here's the pitch to the Moondog. Breaking ball swung and skied down the right field line and going out of play. There appears to be an opening in the fence down there where, I don't know, is that actually in play or is that a gate? We can't really tell from our vantage point.
What it is, Bill, is the bullpen down the right field line. If I'm not mistaken, there's a mound down there and a place for the pitcher down the first base line to warm up. So the bullpen, instead of being all the way down the right field line, same down the left field line, the bullpen's about halfway out there.
So it's actually in play. That's where that one ball went, but we thought it had gone out of play, had not. 2-2 the count to Brian Moon. Ryan Allen leads away from second, and Matt Holloman from the belt wheels and deals, and a swing and a long one, way back to right field, way back, and it's off the wall. Brian Moon rounds first on his way to second with a double, and the Rams now have hit double figures as they take the lead 10-4 on a Brian Moon double.
And you can tell, Bill, that at this stage of the season that Brian Moon's confidence is completely there. In his stance, his stride, his swing, you can tell the confidence is there so much more than at the beginning of the season. And his batting average is reflecting it. The 3-for-4 performance in this game now gives him 14 hits and 35 trips to the plate. And that's quite a hefty batting average.
And that was from the left side the first time he's batted that way today, as opposed to his other hits that came from the right side. And we almost had a winner in the home run wing-ding inning as that ball was drilled deep to right center field. And now batting for Ron Bassetti is Luke Allen. Luke Allen batting for Ron Bassetti of Duluth, Georgia. He listens to Ram Baseball on our flagship station, WGFS AM 1430.
As many people do, I'm sure.
And Matt Holloman brings the next one home, and that's going to be high. That evens the count 1-1. Rams threatening and hoping to break this one wide open and maybe let us have an early exit tonight.
Rams up 6, Bill, and a 10-run lead would do that.
Holloman brings another one in, another breaking ball that doesn't snap, doesn't get down, and he falls behind in the count 2-1.
The 10-run lead after 5 would allow the Rams to go home with the win.
Another pitch down low and inside to Luke Allen, and now 3-1 the count for Luke.
And Chris Laird, frustrated behind the plate for Shiloh, beamed that one right back at Matt Holloman, sending a message.
And a little dribbler out in front of the plate. Holloman up, throws to first, and mercifully for the Shiloh Generals, that ends the inning. The Rams, however, score 3 runs on 4 hits. There were 2 Shiloh errors and 1 runner left on base. We head now to the bottom of the 5th inning, and no winners in today's Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning. So on our next game tomorrow night, look for it to be a 60-piece to be won. The good news is good. Rams lead it 10-4. You're listening to Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS, brought to you by East Metro Communication, which is Covington's authorized agent for Air Touch Cellular.
Hey, Carl, the greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know, that's that little red building down by Nationwise. After a hard day hunting varmints on the golf course, I love to stop by and get some hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. They've got them all the way from that extra mile up to my favorite, TNT. It's a real Cinderella story how Randy has become king of the wings. So stop by and see Randy or call him at 787-0421. When you do, tell him Carl sent you and maybe he'll give me a free wing or something. Remember, that's 787-0421.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
Take the worry out of insurance claims with Auto Owners Insurance. Ranked as one of the top companies in the United States for claim service by a national consumer magazine, you'll enjoy a quick and fair settlement of your personal or business loss. In fact, we're known as the no-problem people because service is our claim to fame. See your Auto Owners Insurance agent today.
Call your auto owner's agents. They are people just like you.
See Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the no-problem people.
Shiloh High School, the Shiloh Generals trailing our own Newton Rams 10-4. The Rams have exploded the last 2 innings, and here to take you the rest of the way in this half inning, Bill Dolan.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. And Brent Johnson begins his 5th inning work. He's really settled down the last 2 innings, only given up 1 hit, and he was able to pick that runner off. So he's looking more and more like the Brent Johnson we've seen pitch all year. After a shaky inning or 2 there, he's settled down, going a lot more with the fastball instead of so many curveballs. He winds and brings the first one home to the shortstop, and that's a fastball up just a little bit high. Mark Bryan, the shortstop for the Shiloh Generals, is 0 for 2, having hit into a double play and also reaching on a fielder's choice, and takes the next one inside for ball 2.
There must have been a conference in the Ram dugout after that 2nd inning because the offense has exploded and the pitching has gotten much better.
Swinging a little dribbler foul over into the Shiloh bench area. The on-deck hitter picks it up and throws it back to Brian Moon. I agree with you, Kevin. Something woke the Rams up. Maybe when they gave up those runs and got behind. The Rams haven't been behind too many times this year, and they've shown an ability to come back once they get behind. Brent Johnson peers in, brings it home. Swinging a little dribbler towards Sam Allen at third. Found the backhand. Long throw across the diamond. Not in time. That kind of took a slow hop that Sam had to lay back on it. Made a good play and made a good strong throw, but the runner just a little too quick and was able to beat it out for a hit.
That first hop was very high and very, very slow. And by the time the ball got to Sam Allen, he had to rush like crazy. Still didn't have a chance at Bryan, so it's a clean base hit.
Good to see him make the good, strong, accurate throw, though. Getting his confidence back. Besides that, the stick also out in the field a little bit, I think.
That's exactly right, and one oftentimes leads to the other. If you're doing well at the plate, it will help your confidence, and you'll get better in the field.
And Brent Johnson with a quick throw over to Lance Cawthon at first, and Mark Bryan easily back in. That brings up Billy Tanner, the third baseman, and here's the pitch. Breaking ball called, strike on the outside corner. Tanner has 1 for 1 with a base on ball, so he's got a perfect night going.
And Johnson back to throwing those first pitch curveballs. The third time through the order, though, that's a little more allowable than the first time through.
And he brings the 0-1 pitch and shot down the left field line. On his horse is Matt Easterday. He cuts it off when it makes a good play. And here's the throw to third. We may have a play. No, and it's going to be a double for Billy Tanner as he coasts in easily. Good play down there by Matt Easterday cutting the ball off.
Well, the weather is cold, but the bats are red hot from Parents Field. And on that one, Easterday had to make a good backhanded play to keep that runners where they are, keep the play from being worse than it could have been. And either way, though, 2 runners in scoring position and no one out. And here Shiloh sends the meat of their order up. They're down 6, but easily can pull back into this one.
Chris Laird, the catcher, he's 0 for 2, reached on the fielder's choice and also grounded out to the second baseman. And here's the first one to him, and that hits him. So just after we were talking good about Brent Johnson, he comes out and promptly gives up 2 hits and a hit batsman.
And Joe Brassfield will have a talk with him here. Don't think that he'll be pulled from the game, but Brassfield and Brent Johnson going to have a little conference on the mound. Johnson's curveball there just didn't have the snap on it. This is going to be the end of the night for Brent Johnson, as a matter of fact. Loads the bases here with no one out. And the Ram fans give Johnson a hand for a fine performance. He leaves with the bases loaded and no one out. And the first baseman, Lance Cawthon, has gone into the dugout. That's likely who we'll see.
And it is going to be Lance Cawthon coming in to pitch, and Joseph Poole will take over at first base. While the Rams make a change, we'll take a break here, and the Rams leading 10-4, but in a world of trouble. You're listening to Ram Baseball, brought to you by East Metro Communication, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
For the best in chiropractic care, visit Lithonia First Chiropractic. Dr. Michael Brust specializes in nerve and spine rehabilitation. Call for an appointment, 482-1114, 482-1114. Most insurance accepted, and we take care of your insurance paperwork at no charge to you. Call Lithonia First Chiropractic at 3081 Stone Mountain Street in Lithonia, 482-1114, 482-1114.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating at 786-4937. They'll send them packing, termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches, and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
Is Lance Cawthon coming in relief in a situation with the bases loaded and no one out here in the 5th inning. The Rams are on top by 6, but a couple of key base hits, and we could have ourselves a ball game again. Cawthon will try to prevent that, so will your play-by-play man, Bill Dolan.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. Lance Cawthon comes in from first base to pitch. Joseph Poole comes in and will play first base, and Brent Johnson's day is done. He can still be the winner, cannot be the loser. And with nobody out, if Lance Cawthon were to finish the entire game, this would be a safe situation only under those circumstances.
Because he would pitch the full 3 innings.
That is correct.
Well, the wind is beginning to blow. The sun has nearly set, and guess what? It's cold. From Parents Field at Shiloh High School, those of you who took the advice of your play-by-play/color announcer to dress warmly here are feeling very good right now. Those of you who aren't probably aren't feeling so good.
And Lance Cawthon's going to pitch from the full windup and brings the first one home. And that ball's popped up down the right field line. That could be trouble, and it's over and out of play. Joseph Poole slides into the fence.
Poole making a good try for that one, but it's falling foul and out of play.
A little bit low. And so far, neither of the Ram pitchers have gotten any help at all from the umpire. He's called a real tight strike zone on him. Cawthon winds and brings the 1-1 offering home. Swing and a miss as he blew it right by him with the old number 1.
Cawthon came in the high hard fastball, which is what you've got to do in this situation. You cannot be cute because you have to come after this hitter. A strikeout would be nice. A pop-up also would be nice.
And here comes the 1-2 pitch from Cawthon. Fouled back here, and that keeps the count at 1-2.
That one about 5 feet to our right and just over us and back to the fence right behind us out of play. Coffin still ahead, but Bissell staying alive, doing what a number 5 hitter is supposed to do.
And here comes Lance's 1-2 pitch. Swinging a foul ball down the first base line, fielded cleanly by the first base coach. And we'll do it again.
That was a Q-stick shot right off the end of Bissell's bat. Q-sticking and curving, had some English on it, kind of like a pool shot, curved away from the first base coach.
The two Ryans up the middle playing at double play depth. They're playing in at the corners. 1-2 the count, and Coffin brings it home. And just a little bit outside.
Brian Moon had leapt to his feet. He thought he had a strikeout there. So did Coffin, but nothing doing.
And Coffin working quickly, brings the 2-2 count home. Swinging a little ground ball to Joseph Poole. He's going to bring it home, and he's out at the plate. Good play by Joseph Poole, and that's the first out of the inning.
3-2 in the scorebook. Reaching on the fielder's choice is Bissell, and Joseph Poole, after having just come into this game when Coffin came into the game, did a good job with an accurate throw home, beating Brian, Mark Bryan that is, by a step or so, and Brian Moon doing his first baseman imitation, standing on home plate and taking the throw.
Good play by Joseph Poole, easily retiring the player at the plate, and he's still playing in close, as is Sam Allen. Here's the first pitch to the next hitter, Scott Lloyd, a called strike from Lance Coffin.
So far, Coffin has been able to get the curveball over and the fastball over for a strike, which will help him certainly in this pressure circumstance.
And he brings the 0-1 offering, and strike 2 called. Rolled on the outside corner, another good pitch by Coffin.
That one a fastball on the outside corner, the first pitch a curveball inside. Now he's established both, and Lloyd is in serious trouble.
0-2 the count, and here it comes. And a little blooper. Ryan Allen with a great catch. Spears to second base. Double play. Holy cow, Kevin Holden. When it goes right for you, it goes right. What a great play by Ryan Allen, showing just, he timed it perfectly, went up and got it, and made the great throw, and there was the freshman covering the bag where he's supposed to be.
Absolutely perfect. Ryan Allen had to take every bit of strength in his legs to leap and make the catch, but he did. Alertly saw the runner off second. It's a double play. You can breathe again.
And the Rams maintain that lead. We're heading to the top of the 6th inning, and Kevin, I'm going to give it to you to bring it home the rest of the way. I got you the lead. It's up to you to hold them. You're listening to exciting Newton Ram baseball, brought to you by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for Air Touch Cellular.
The Farm and Garden Depot on Emory Street in Covington offers spring fever savings. In Gardener's Picks, they have Easter flowers and baskets, bedding plants, pesticides, cross ties, vegetable seeds, gardening hand tools, weed and feed fertilizer, and Pennington products. Pine straw only $2.99. And look for special coupons in this week's Covington Shopper. The Farm and Garden Depot on Emory Street behind Burger King, 787-3870.
Fit in some fun, slip into a grin. Show the world the mood you're in.
During the stock-up sale at Goody's Family Clothing, you get more for less. Like men's authentic GFC Henleys or tees, now 2 for $20. Men's Duckhead solid polos are 2 for just $32. And save on boys' solid polos, 2 for only $13 during Goody's stock-up sale.
Goody's feels like you.
If you're a serious sports fan and you crave serious sports talk, then you need to tune in to WGFS AM 1430 each and every Saturday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. for Sports Source Weekly. Todd Q. Chapman and Kevin Holden will be taking your phone calls. We'll be discussing sports topics on the professional level, the collegiate level, and on the local high school level. That's Sports Source Weekly, heard every Saturday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. with Todd Q. Chapman and Kevin Holden right here on Newton County's Source for Sports, WGFS AM 1430.
And welcome back to Parent Field on the campus of Shiloh High School. Newton Ram baseball. I got them the lead. They're up 10-4, and here's the man that's got to hold them and maybe get some more Ram runs, Kevin Holden.
The lefty is in to try to close it out, and Richie Cleary will be the first man up, facing the right-hander Matt Holloman. Wind first pitch, a little bit low, 1-0. It'll be Richie Cleary, Sam Allen, and the DH, whoever that might be, either Middlebrooks or Britt Mask, and they are the next three due up, the 4, 5, and 6 spots for the Rams.
Richie Cleary saw a breaking ball there. He had been seeing a lot of fastballs.
1-0 pitch, a little low and outside, 2-0. The wind has died down here, thankfully, but the cold weather continues. frigid down here in the valley of Shiloh High School. 2-0, a little bit outside, 3-0. This field is at the bottom of a hill, so it's kind of its own valley, and for that reason the wind down here kind of swirls. 3-0, a little bit low, ball 4. So on 4 pitches, Richie Cleary goes streaking down toward first base, and the Rams have a base runner.
And doing his Richie Hustle imitation there as he flies down there. I like to see that in people. They got their head in the game, they're wanting to hustle and play, and in fact, it's so good to see baseball. I wish we could do high school baseball all summer, Kevin, and the heck with those other guys.
I heard that. That would be a terrific thing. Unfortunately, since the school year ends in June, I think we might be the only two that would agree to something like that. Of course, there is American Legion baseball, and those of you who've watched that know that that is a fine program there. Sam Allen swings at one and grounds it hard towards short. A backhanded stop, but by the shortstop for Shiloh, and runners will be safe at first and second. Mark Bryan trying to make the backhanded play, couldn't do so. The Rams have 2 men on.
Kevin, he was all the way into the hole and on the backhand, and I don't know if he would not have had a play at Richie Cleary, and I really doubt if he would have been able to retire Sam down there. So not as clean as his other ones, but I'm going to give Sam a base hit on that, I think.
That'll be his third of the game, makes him 3 for 4, raises the average quite a bit, makes him now 12 for 39. The first pitch in low in the dirt to Britt Mask. It's 1-0, so the question has been answered. Mask is the person hitting. He came in as a pinch runner in the 5th for Middlebrooks. It's the second straight game Middlebrooks has been lifted after a few at-bats. There's a one in the dirt that gets by the catcher. The runners will move up a base. That one bounced off of Laird's glove. Didn't bounce that far away, maybe 15 feet, maybe a little more, but he had a little trouble finding it, and for that reason, the Rams now with second and third.
And a pass ball on that one is it bounced into the dirt. Anytime it hits in the dirt, you really can't expect the catcher to be able to have to make the play.
And Mask, with 2 runners in scoring position, awaits, and the 2-0 is low, 3-0, and suddenly Holloman is having serious problems throwing strikes.
But he really hasn't been too effective since he came into the game. He's been behind in the count, and that's what's caused the Rams to be able to really tee off on him.
His 3-0, Mask was taking all the way, and it's low, ball 4. Another walk here, loads the bases. And for Holloman, since coming into this game, he has walked 2, both of them in this inning, but he has also given up a half dozen base hits and at least 3 runs, and had a play in which he was in the game, in which Luke Allen came home, and also a single in which Brian Moon scored. Those were inherited runners that Holloman let score. Shiloh infield is in all the way around. First pitch line towards center field, and it is in for a base hit. 1 run will score. Holding at third base is Sam Allen, but Kaufman with another RBI to add to his collection in this game, and the Rams up 11-4.
And Lance Kaufman having quite a game here today. That's his 3rd hit to go along with his 2nd inning strikeout, and a fine job of pitching last inning, making a strong bid for something we talk about at the end of the game.
That would, of course, be the WGFS player of the game. Kaufman has 3 RBIs, too. Don't forget about that. Here is Ryan Moon. He swings and pops one right behind us out of play. He's got to bring that ball up a little more. Needs a little more arch on it if it's going to reach our way. It's 0-1. Moon is 0 for 3, but he did reach on a fielder's choice. Showed some heads-up base running. He did score a run also. Runners lead from every base. The 0-1 pitch bounced on one hop to the first baseman. He will come home for 1. There'll be no other play. That is the first out of the inning. But retired on the forced play at home, kind of like we saw last half inning. 3-2 at home plate. Sam Allen retired.
And Ryan didn't really get good metal on that ball. Hit kind of a one-hopper to the first baseman, who made about the same type of play Joseph Poole did. Took his time, made a good, strong throw home. There was not a chance to double up Ryan Moon, who was hustling down to first.
Here's Matt Easterday, and the first one to him. Thought about going after it, but stayed away from the curveball as it went outside the strike zone, 1-0. Easterday has reached on an error, a sacrifice fly. A run scored for him, and of course the RBI on the sac fly. Winded pitch, lined hard toward right field. Don't think anyone will have a chance at this. It falls out of play, 1-1.
That can present kind of an interesting situation when you have a long fly down the line like that, particularly with a cutout bullpen like that. If he catches the ball, the runners can still advance, tag up, and move up. And as far as he might have gone out of play, you possibly could have seen 2 runners score on a sacrifice fly. I've only really seen that happen one time, and it happened in a World Series. It was kind of interesting.
Interesting thing when that happens, but as an outfielder, you're taking a risk going into foul territory like that. A curveball, Easterday went around on it, though, and was missing it by about a foot. It was low, almost in the dirt, 1-2.
Was really unable to check his swing there, went out fishing for it, and it was not a good pitch. He was guessing fastball and was fooled badly by the breaking ball.
The 1-2 on the way. Off speed inside, 2-2. Another curveball from Holloman. This time, though, he was looking for something that was going to curve out of the strike zone. Looked like it started around the inside corner and broke in. Right-hander facing the righty Holloman. Wind the 2-2. Fastball high and tight. The count goes full, 3-2. Now with the bases loaded, one more wide one, we could see another one come across, so Holloman has got to throw a strike. In fact, his future in this game may rest on it, the wind. The 3-2 pitch, line hard towards center field. Center fielder backtracking. Hensel still going back on this one. It's going to bounce once and over the wall. It's a ground rule double. 2-run score. Stopping at second is Easterday, and it is deep out there to center field. That might have gone out of a few other places. Here, it's a ground rule double, but the Rams up 13-4.
And nice to see Matt Easterday back to hit the ball again. He's had a few problems this year in the field, but he really jumped all over that offering and drilled it deep to center field, one hopping over the fence and driving in 2 runs and going along with his sac fly. That gives him 3 RBIs himself.
The Rams spreading out the offensive wealth throughout the lineup. Easterday is the number 9 batter in the order. Here comes Glenn George to the mound to have a nice leisurely conference with his infield, and they'll all be gathered at the mound for a while, and while they do, we'll tell you about many things, including the Rams' schedule for the rest of this week. Tomorrow, they'll take on the Salem Seminoles from Salem High School. That'll be at 5 o'clock. Then Friday, the Rams come back here to Riverside Park to take on the Winder Barrow Bulldogs at Riverside Park at 5. And Saturday, late in the evening, they will take on a team from Escambia, Florida. It will be a very interesting game, part of a quadruple header, if I'm not mistaken, at Riverside Park involving various teams.
Yes, that's going to involve Fayette County's varsity and junior varsity, and Escambia's junior varsity and varsity, and also Newton's varsity and junior varsity.
Ryan Allen, the hitter. Second and third. Lines one, does Ryan Allen. Foul down the left field line. He tattooed that. He's had a lot of those this year down the left field line and foul that he's hit very, very hard. In fact, he seems to be on top of the ball and hitting it hardest when he goes the other way.
It's always a good time seeing him go that way because he really drills it hard that way. Ryan having a good game, scored several runs, a couple of stolen bases. In fact, he scored 3 runs, has 2 stolen bases on the day, and played stellarly in the field out there at shortstop.
The Rams so far in this game, totaling up the hits right now as the pitch sails outside for ball 2. The Rams so far in this game have a total, I believe, 15 base hits. On 13 runs also on the scoreboard. There's a swing and a hard 2-hopper toward the second baseman. He will come home. The play there, he is out. At the plate, Ryan Moon out 4-2. Safe on the fielder's choice. At first base is Ryan Allen, but 2 down now in the inning. And we are going to see a pinch hitter for Ryan Moon. It appears Jeffrey Norman has come out, and the senior left-handed batter will pinch hit here for Moon, who has had a tremendous, tremendous night with 3 base hits, a couple of runs scored, and some RBIs as well. So Norman comes in here. Jeffrey Norman was at one time the Rams' leading hitter. Of course, he was 1 for 2 at that point, a 500 average. He is now at 1 for 4. That's a 250 average. No homers. He does have a couple of RBIs, had some sacrifice flies, but doesn't get a chance to hit very much because of the deep offense of the Newton Rams.
Ryan Moon's still standing over in the dugout with all his gear on. I'm sure he'll come back in to catch. Coach Brassfield just giving Jeffrey Norman a chance to get up there and swing in a game where can empty the bench a little bit.
Rams up now by 9 with a runner at third. Norman takes a pitch for ball 1. Looked like it was a little outside. The runner at third is Easterday. The runner at first is Ryan Allen. You know, it's been a nice quiet night here at Parents Field. There hasn't been a whole lot of noise, and the reason for that is the Rams have, the last few innings, really taken command of this one. There's a swing and a 1-hopper right out in front of us, but hits the screen. It's 1-1.
Jeffrey Norman, only with about 4 at-bats this year, would like nothing more than to get a pitch he can lay into. There's some stories about he's hit the tree several times at Riverside Park out there in right field.
There's a line drive toward left field on 1 hop. It is past the shortstop, who may have had a play on that ball. 1 run will score, heads up running toward third base, and he is out there at third base. So that's the 3rd out of the inning. Ryan Allen trying to take the extra base, but making the final out of the inning there at third base at 6-5. He's retired there at third. But yesterday scores, meanwhile, and the Rams take the lead here 14-4. We will be back. Newton Ram Baseball, WGFS AM 1430, made possible by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for, yes, AirTouch Cellular.
The people at East Metro Communications know that it's not nice to brag, but they have got to do it. They want everyone to know that they have received the AirTouch Cellular Small Market Agent of the Year Award. This means East Metro Communications outperformed 35 other AirTouch Cellular agents. Their customer service record has put them ahead of the competition. This is the 14th time East Metro has been recognized for outstanding performance. That's East Metro Communications Incorporated, 7115 Highway 278, 786-6796. And now through May 13th, new customers and some existing ones may be eligible for $100 airtime free. Call or stop by for details. That's East Metro Communications, located on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-6796. East Metro Communications is an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, the new name for Pactel.
Terrence Field, Shiloh High School, Newton Ram Baseball. They're up by a touchdown and a field goal. And here to bring you home the rest of the way, the voice of the Rams, Kevin Holden.
Bill, thank you. The bottom half of the sixth, Shiloh has the bottom third of their order as the Rams with the 10-run lead here. Due up for Shiloh, Matt Holloman, Benji Law, and Mark Hensel. Holloman has pitched the last few innings, but unfortunately since he's come in, the Rams have tattooed him. He takes the first pitch up high for ball one. And you have to wonder, without a whole lot of action until just now in the Shiloh bullpen, if Coach George isn't looking more toward Friday's game. The 1-0 swung on and bounced hard up the middle. The shortstop, Ryan Allen, has to take a bad hop. Looks like he took that one right in the front part of his body, but safe at first is Matt Holloman awaiting the scorekeeper's call.
That one wasn't quite as bad a hop as the other one. I think Ryan should have been able to make the play on that. We're going to have to give him an error on that.
So he will shake it off and go back to his shortstop position. Runner on at first. Second time that he's reached on an error. The first time it was from Sam Allen on an errant throw to first base that was well over Lance Cawthon's head. Benji Law is now up there. He is 0 for 1. He was also hit by a pitch and scored a run back in the second. Stretch and pitch to him. He swings and misses at the well-placed fastball right around the outside corner at the knees. It's 0-1. Rams have scored 4 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, and 4 more in the sixth. A little bit high, 1-1. Snap throw to first from Brian Moon. Back in safely there at first base is Matt Holloman.
Even with a 10-run lead, Brian Moon saying, better stay close to that bag. I'm coming after you.
Often to the belt and delivers. And an off-speed pitch this time, and Benji Law appeared fooled on that one as he took a half swing sort of at it. Half-hearted cut. It's 1-2.
Good pitch by Lance Cawthon. He's done a real good job since coming into the game. Been right around the strike zone. Looks a whole lot different pitcher than he did Monday night when he was really ineffective and didn't even last 2 innings.
The 1-2 called strike 3. That was a curveball that caught the inside corner, and you mentioned the difference between Monday and today. Give credit to Joe Brasfield for continuing to have the confidence in Cawthon to bring him back in this game on Wednesday after pulling him after that outing, which was borderline on Monday. But he comes in here with the bases loaded, no one out, and Coach Brasfield goes right to Cawthon under these circumstances, and he got the job done. Mark Hensel, the next man up, a little bit high on the first pitch to him. It's 1-0. Hensel is 2 for 2 with a run scored.
And you're right, Kevin, it does get cold here.
Very, very cold. And sitting on the metal bleachers doesn't help very much either. Throw to first base, back in safely is Matt Holloman. Terrence Field at Shiloh High School, the kind of place where stories are made. You can tell to everybody. There's a called strike. It's 1-1. Curveball that Cawthon dropped in from a place higher down into the strike zone.
Really has good control of that curveball tonight, and that's what was hurting him Monday. He really wasn't throwing it well.
Hensel swings at the 1-1, fouls it back to the screen on the fastball. Just barely touched that one on the end of the bat. It's 1-2.
I talked to Lance a little bit and asked him about the outing. He just said for some reason Monday he felt stiff, just wasn't his day, but evidently he got it straightened out, and once again, kudos to Coach Brasfield for the confidence to go to him.
The Rams' relief pitching has been terrific so far this year. The 1-2 swung on, grounded to third Third baseman goes to second, and he pulled the second baseman off the bag. There's a new third baseman. That's Trent Alexander. He pulled Ryan Moon off the bag, though, and so safe at first is Holloman. Or safe at first is Hensel, rather, and safe at second is Matt Holloman.
And we're going to have to call an error on that play because the good throw easily gets him, but Trent, with a little bit of a wide throw, Ryan Moon, doing a great job trying to stay on the bag, just wasn't quite able to do so.
So Alexander is into play third here for the Rams here in the sixth inning. And the first pitch misses for ball one. One effect of the cold weather is the ink pens stop writing, and the hands get a little bit numb. Coffin will check the runners at first and second. He'll come to the belt, and he'll come home. And that one's a little high with the fastball. So now 2-0 to Eric Mathis, who's 1 for 2 with a walk. 2 errors by the Rams in this inning have put 2 men on. There's a swing and a pop fly into shallow right field. Ryan Moon goes out, takes charge, he's under it, he makes the catch. And that's out 1, now 2 rather.
And a good job by Lance Coffin coming back, not letting the error affect him, making a good pitch to Eric Mathis, getting him to hit an easy pop-up. And the kids look pretty good out there at second base.
Ryan Moon has proven himself to be pretty effective out there. Made very few mistakes, and Coach Brassfield may decide to stick with this alignment. Rams play their next couple games. They'll have 3 more in the next 3 days, so plenty of chances to prove your defense. That one's in the dirt, a good 10 feet in front of home plate. That's the first pitch to Mark Bryan for ball 1. A curveball from Coffin. Bounced far out in front.
And credit Brian Moon with one of his first saves of the night as he got the chest protector on.
And with 2 men on, that's very important to do that. And with 2 out especially. There's a swing and a high pop fly to left field. Left fielder goes back on it. He is under it, and Easterday makes the catch for out number 3. So Shiloh puts nothing across. They leave 2 men on base. The Rams did make 2 errors putting those 2 men on, but no hits from the Generals in that inning. As we move to the 7th, your Newton Rams on top by a score of 14-4. You are listening to Newton Ram Baseball right here on WGFS AM 1430, and it is made possible tonight by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
If you bury your nose in a cloud of sawdust and breathe deep, you're going to get choked up. Unless you're the new Husqvarna 36 chainsaw with air injection filtering, now available at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Husqvarna's exclusive air injection saws run up to 20 times cleaner than any other saw on the market. With the Husky 36, you can work harder and longer without stopping for a filter change. What's more, an ergonomic design means that you can last nearly as long as your Husky. An angled front grip puts you in a comfortable working position that's less prone to fatigue, and vibration is kept to a minimum by separating the handles and engine unit. At only $199.95, you can't buy a better saw for home or farm than the Husqvarna 36 with air injection. So to keep your nose clean, stop by Coast to Coast Home and Auto on the Square in Covington to see the 36 and our entire line of quality Husqvarna products.
For the best in chiropractic care, visit Lithonia First Chiropractic. Dr. Michael Brust specializes in nerve and spine rehabilitation. Call for an appointment, 482-1114. 482-1114. Most insurance accepted, and we take care of your insurance paperwork at no charge to you. Call Lithonia First Chiropractic at 3081 Stone Mountain Street in Lithonia, 482-1114. 482-1114.
And welcome back to Parent Field, Shiloh High School. Exciting Newton Ram baseball. And how does it look? It looks pretty good at this point in time. Rams up 14-4. And here to bring you the 7th inning, none other than the voice of the Rams, Evan Holden.
And of course, we have a ton of changes. So what would a Newton Ram game be under these circumstances without a bunch of changes? First of all, for Shiloh, there's a new pitcher. Billy Tanner is in to pitch. And it appears Matt Holloman may be at third base. We'll check on that in just a moment to see exactly. No, he's not at third base. Well, we'll work on the defensive alignment for Shiloh and at least try to give you something here during this inning. And there's also a pinch hitter as Robbie Sanfilippo will come up and bat for Luke Allen. And Bill Dolan, the Rams up by 10 thanks to the last 4 innings. They scored only 1 run in the first 2. In fact, at one point they were down 4-1 and scaring us just a little, but I think they like to do that, actually. Scare us a little, then come back because they scored 2 on 3 hits in the 3rd, 4 runs on 3 hits in the 4th, 3 runs on 4 hits in the 5th, and 4 more on 3 base hits in the 6th.
And it looks looks like Mark Lordo is playing third base, Kevin.
And Lordo, I would assume, would be in Holloman's spot in the order. So we make the changes as we give them to you. Lordo is your new third baseman for the Shiloh Generals. And the new pitcher will be Billy Tanner. Holloman goes 2 1/3 innings. He gives up a combined total of 7 runs. Does so on at least 6 base hits. And he did not strike out a batter during that entire time. And the first man due up here for the Rams in the 7th will be Sanfilippo, the pinch hitter, and he'll take a pitch low for ball 1. Sanfilippo in 95 is 0 for 2. Does have 2 runs scored to his credit and a base on balls, but no base hits as of yet. The wind and the pitch, a called strike. It's 1-1.
And also 1 stolen base to his credit, as do many of the Rams. This team loves to run under Coach Joe Brasfield.
Something they have done quite a bit of. Good aggressive base running. The 1-1 is low, 2-1. Many players who you wouldn't expect to have a lot of stolen bases are actually some of the leaders on the Ram team, such as Brian Moon, who has 6. Richie Cleary now has 6 after the one today. The wind, 2-1 pitch, swung on and lined foul back to the screen. That one was up about eye level.
And Robbie hit himself in the head a little bit, knowing he chased a pitch that he should not have been going after.
On deck is Michael Doss. Doss will be batting for Richie Cleary, who will finish the night 2 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Then Filippo swings at one hard, hits it toward the third baseman, Lordo, who makes the play. His throw dug out by the first baseman for Shiloh, Benji Law, and that's out number 1. Continuing the changes is Michael Doss coming in to hit for Cleary.
Michael Doss pinch hit one other time for Richie Cleary. However, that was a little more different situation. It was a hard luck wing day inning.
And needless to say, Richie Cleary probably a little bigger threat to go deep than Michael Doss is, as Doss takes one high, 1-0. Doss this year has 1 at bat. It was that at bat, as a matter of fact. And he's 0 for 1. Takes a pitch low, now 2 balls, no strikes to Michael Doss.
And Coach Brasfield, like he likes to do, trying to give everybody a chance to at least get one swing up there. And Trent Alexander on deck, he'll be batting next.
The 2-0 swung on and bounced toward third. Lordo comes across, makes the play, goes to first in time. So Lordo has done a tremendous job, actually, since coming in to play third base. Once we found out who he was, he's made himself known and made his name heard on the radio twice now. And Trent Alexander is up. He came in to play third in the top half of the 6th inning. Make that the bottom half. Alexander, a 200 hitter, 1 out of 5 this year. Wind and the pitch to him. He swings and misses at a hard, high fastball. 0-1. The easiest pitch to see, but the toughest to hit.
It's just almost impossible to get around on that thing up in the eyes because it is just so high and makes your swing so unauthorized. This one might be near us.
It's a pop fly right behind the screen, and Chris Laird overran the ball going back, and the ball bounced behind him. It is 0-2, but Laird a little upset with himself. He thought he was going to have a play on that, and if there had not been so much foul territory, that might have been over-biased, because Laird was not that far away from us when he tried to make the play.
And he really should be a little upset with himself because, as you said, he actually overran.
And Eric Mathis made the play. 1-2-3 go down the Newton Rams in the 7th. Last hope for the Shiloh Generals as the Rams look to extinguish the fire and go to 11-1. They lead this one 14-4. Newton Ram Baseball, WGFS AM 1430. This, of course, is made possible by East Metro Communications, which is Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza. A Keller 6-foot aluminum stepladder, only $25.88. An Ever-Ready floating lantern, $3.99. Quick set entry lock or deadbolt, just $7.97 each. And Enforcer drain care, $4.88. It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Charles Evans Nissan refuses to be undersold. We will meet or beat any advertised price on any in-stock unit. If you are tired of high pressure and the runaround, come to Charles Evans Nissan in Conyers. We put the fun back into buying a car. Charles Evans Nissan is located at 1420 Iris Drive in Conyers. 922-7600. Remember, Charles Evans Nissan. We won't be undersold. That's 922-7600.
And it only takes 3 more outs, and going to get got those for you. Kevin Holden's going to try to get the save. Bring it on, Lefty.
Thank you, sir, as WGFS brings you coverage of Newton Ram baseball live from Parents Field. The Newton Rams and Shiloh Generals, and the Rams on top 14-4. So I don't think this is a safe situation for the lefty and for Lance Coffin, but that's okay. Billy Tanner will be the first man up, followed by Chris Laird and Brian Bissell, that is, unless Glenn George decides to make more changes, at which time the scorebook gets that much messier.
Now batting for Shiloh, number 2, Chris Vader.
And there is a pinch hitter as Chris Vader comes in to hit here from Billy Tanner. Vader spelled V-A-T-E-R.
As opposed to the wrestler who spells it V-A-D-E-R, I think so. Probably not any relation.
And also the character from the movie Star Wars who spelled his name also V-A-D-E-R, if I'm not mistaken. But this is Chris Vader, and Lance Coffin is taking his warm-up tosses to begin this bottom half of the 7th as we wait on the home plate umpire to begin this half inning. The Rams would like to finish this one out in style and move to 11-1. They'd be 2-0 in sub-region play and would have a chance to still make a clean sweep of this week. This was a crucial week in which they play 5 games. There's a called strike to Chris Vader, 0-1. Fastball on the outside corner. Very crucial as the Rams play 3 games inside the region and 2 other ones. There's another called strike. It's 0-2.
And Lance Coffin continuing to do what he needs to do, come in and throw strikes, and working real quickly, just trying to get through this inning.
0-2 pitch, and off speed, low and outside. A good idea with the 0-2 pitch, but it's low. The Rams also have a crucial week next week, Bill. Sorry, as they play Rockdale and Parkview, 2 huge sub-region games. The 1-2 pitch lined hard past Sam Allen into left field. That's a base hit for Chris Vader, leading off the 7th for the Generals.
With the Rams up 10, Lance just wants to come in and throw strikes, and if they get a base hit or 2, not to worry about it, just keep coming after him. What he doesn't want to do is sit out there and put some people on via the free pass and the like. So his defense is good behind him. They've been making the plays most of the night. He needs to just continue to throw strikes like he's done.
And here's the hitless General catcher, Chris Laird, 0 for 2. He takes the first pitch from Coffin to him in this at-bat up high for ball 1. Glenn George is a mile down the third base line, well out of the third base coaching box, where he can shout the instructions to his hitter if need be. 1-0 pitch, low and outside with the fastball, 2-0.
Not too many instructions to shout when you're down 10 and have a runner on base. Kind of like, get a hit.
Not the best instruction you can give under that circumstance at all. Stretch, the 2-0, swung on and missed. Coffin pulled the string and did a fine job. It's 2-1.
Not a real good job of hitting there by Chris Laird when you're down 10 runs and ahead in the count 2-0 to chase a breaking ball that's down and out of the strike zone.
The Generals a little over anxious at the plate as the 2-1, a fastball which sails high, ball 3. Been kind of a frustrating night ever since the 2nd inning for the Shiloh Generals. They had a great first 2 innings. In fact, in the 2nd, things were really falling apart for the Newton Rams, but then since that 2nd inning, everything has gone Newton's way. Stretch and pitch, swung on and line hard toward right field, but he got under it. Right fielder Richie Cleary is there to make the play, and that'll be the first out.
That ball hit pretty well to right field, and it is fairly short there because that ball didn't appear to be hit that well, and Richie, playing fairly deep, was able to pretty much catch it in his tracks there.
Number 15, Russell Brown. And Russell Brown will pinch hit here for Brian Bissell. Bissell was 0 for 3. Brown bats from the left-hand side, facing the righty Coffin. Stretch and first pitch a little high and outside with the fastball. 1 ball, no strikes to Brown in his first at-bat of this one. Runner takes his lead away from first base, and there's a called strike. It's 1-1, and we're being motioned that there's a new right fielder in the game here for the Newton Rams. So Cleary did not make the play on that one, did not make the catch. The 1-1, a little high and outside, 2-1. That's Michael Dawson, right field. He pinch hit for Cleary in the top half of this inning. The 2-1, a little low and inside. Coffin tried to drop the curveball down there. It's 3-1. Beginning to be a frigid night at Parents Field at Shiloh High School. Fortunately, though, This one hopefully 2 outs away from being over with. There's a high pop fly to right center field. Center fielder on his horse, and he makes the catch. For the second out of the inning, a terrific play from the Newton Rams center fielder, who we believe to be Luke Allen. That's Robbie Sanfilippo that's gone in for Allen in center field. So the Rams made a lot of defensive changes in this half inning, but it's very deep out there to center and right field, and from where we're sitting, we were unable to see the changes.
It appears that the ones that pinch hit went ahead and stayed in the game. Robbie playing in center, and Michael Doss out in right field, and Trent we already had at third base.
Here's Scott Lloyd. He's 1 for 3, stretch and pitch. He swings and misses at a curveball that was breaking low and away. No balls, 1 strike. Lloyd is 1 for 3 with a run scored.
That was a great catch by Robbie Sanfilippo. Out right near the fence. That ball was tagged well towards the right center field gap, but he went and got it.
The 0-1 pitch, a fastball up high. Coffin would like to shut this one down right here as he came in the 5th inning with the bases loaded, no one out. Got the Rams out of that jam and has pitched very effectively since then. Here's a swing and a ground ball toward Ryan Allen. He goes to second. That's the force play, and that'll do it as the Newton Rams have picked up their 11th victory of 1995 against only 1 loss, and the number 3 Rams win this one by a score of 14-4 over the Shiloh Generals. We'll be back to wrap up your happy news from Shiloh High School and then hit a warm place as soon as possible. Newton Ram Baseball, WGFS AM 1430, made possible by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
I'm just starting out on my own. I know the importance of life insurance to protect obligations, like my new car loan. But is there an insurance program that I can fit into my budget?
No problem with Auto Owners 10-year level term insurance.
How will I know this is the right kind of life insurance for me?
Auto Owners 10-year level term provides low-cost level protection and can be converted to permanent insurance later.
Who can I talk to find out more about Auto Owners 10-year level term insurance?
Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
See Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213, your auto owner's agent.
Auto owners, the no-problem people.
Fit in some fun, slip into a grin. Show the world the mood you're in.
During the stock-up sale at Goody's Family Clothing, you get more for less. Like Levi's Orange Tab Shorts in men's 505 regular fit and 550 relaxed fit styles and 950 relaxed fit style for juniors. Now 2 for just $44. Today through Saturday during Goody's stock-up sale.
Goody's feels like you.
The people at East Metro Communications know that it's not nice to brag, but they have got to do it. They want everyone to know that they have received the AirTouch Cellular Small Market Agent of the Year Award. This means East Metro Communications outperformed 35 other AirTouch Cellular agents. Their customer service record has put them ahead of the competition. This is the 14th time East Metro has been recognized for outstanding performance. That's East Metro Communications Incorporated, 7115 Highway 278, 786-6796. And now, through May 13th, new customers and some existing ones may be eligible for $100 airtime free. Call or stop by for details. That's East Metro Communications, located on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-6796. East Metro Communications is an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, the new name for Pactel.
Back to the Rams, now 11 wins and 1 loss on the season, 2-0 in the sub-region. Another fine victory for them, a scare in the early innings, and then Newton Ram baseball like we're used to seeing it. Kevin Holden, another win for the Rams.
Yes, Bill, as a matter of fact, a pretty impressive win for the Rams once they got past the first few innings. 14 runs for the Newton Rams in tonight's game, 15 hits. They committed 3 errors, they left 6 on base. Brent Johnson and Lance Coffin combining to pick up the win here for the Rams. Brent Johnson having trouble in the first few innings. Then when he got in the jam in the 5th inning, Lance Coffin came in with the bases loaded, no one out. A terrific job in relief from Lance Coffin and something special for him tonight.
Well, due to not only his pitching out of the jam, coming up with the save, and pitching 3 strong innings, he also had a big night with the stick. Lance with several hits, 3 RBIs, and due to that, we're going to award him with the WGFS Player of the Game.
That's exactly right. For the Shiloh Generals, 4 runs, 8 hits, 5 errors. They left 8 men on base. Shiloh used 3 pitchers in this game, and the Rams are now coming off the field as they cheer on their 11th victory of the year. But the Newton Rams, after this one, only giving up the 4 runs on 8 hits. And like we said, after the first 2 innings, looked to be a little scary, but since then, a completely different ballgame.
That's right. The Rams playing like the Rams are capable of playing. Honorable mention, a man finally breaking out of a streak, and he's got his uniform dirty, and still a little bit of problem in the field, but he's coming around with the stick, and we look for him to be a big plus on the team, Sam Allen.
Now, Sam Allen, before the game, was disappointed with his statistics and said, and I'm quoting here, we'll have to do something about that. That's 3 for 4, according to our statistics in the scorebook, Sam, so you're now 12 for 39. So,
what does that make?
Well, we'll have to figure that out in a couple of minutes, but either way, it's a lot better than it was before the game, and I'm sure it will improve as you go along, Sam. But the Rams now 11-1, and tomorrow they will take on the Salem Seminoles. In fact, Sam Allen is pitching that game. He will start on the mound, and are they going to play Wild Thing when you pitch like they did for Johnson?
I hope so.
And Brent Johnson had to be happy. We saw him smiling out there when they played Wild Thing as he took his warm-up tosses. A dream come true for him.
Lance Coffin, our player of the game, is just now coming off the field as he receives the WGFS award for player of the game. We've got to get out of here. We will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. from Salem High School in Rockdale County as the Rams and Salem Seminoles go head-to-head. So for executive producer Todd Chapman, for Bill Dolan and the cast of thousands, Kevin Holden reporting from Parents Field at Shiloh High School. Your final once again, happy to report the Newton Rams 14, the Shiloh Generals 4. So long, everybody.